I'm shaking.
No, why? Don't be. This is so fun.
I've never been on a pod.
I know, but this is your first time. We're like,
I know. I would not want to break the virginity any other way.
Nope. This is the only way to do it.
This is the only way to do it.
On the Well Said podcast.
No, it really is.
If you hear this voice in the microphone, there's somebody I need to introduce you to. Welcome back to Well Said podcast, by the way, everybody. Court Lala is here.
Oh, shit. We're starting.
Oh, yeah. We're literally on the fucking mic.
Oh, I didn't know we were starting. I'm adding some context. I'm nervous.
Don't be.
No, I know.
But it's totally organic and normal to be nervous.
Yeah, I respect your audience, Sid.
I think that you should be totally okay with being nervous because you've never been on a microphone before. This
Literally
is a weird,
ever.
like, dynamic.
Yeah.
Like, you got to watch me do it the other day in front of a million people. I was probably pooping my pants. I was way more nervous than you are right now in this room.
For sure. And by the way, if you did not know, Sid's event was 11 out of 10. And she
was so
killed it.
fun.
And everyone that I talked to was like, she could have talked for 3 hours. And I would have been the happiest pooper alive.
It was literally so much fun. And
it was so fun.
Court has a business called Lens Media. And it's a media business. It's a content capture, all the things. I mean, is it a full service agency?
Yeah, it's a full service agency. Oh, it's a full service. I'm like, I told you I'm nervous.
See, no, that's okay. Because we've got vinegar water going on.
Oh, you got to tell them.
Okay, so Court said she was going to bring these little fun little, I want to call them kombucha, even though they're not.
No, they're not.
They are
They're
kombucha.
palomas.
They're palomas, and they taste a little vinegar. Good.
They're
That
for
vinegar,
sure
good.
expired.
Yeah, 100%. But we're absolutely drinking them.
And we're talking about health and wellness today. And not only that, it's
called
I don't
balance.
drink very much anymore. I mean, I used to drink all the
I don't
time.
either.
No, I know. Isn't it kind of fun? I mean, it's not that fun, but
So
it's
far,
not as fun
so
as
good.
drinking. But I will say you're lucky.
Oh my God, I'm getting lucky over
You're
here.
getting lucky.
I love that you're here. I'm so excited for this because Court has always been somebody who's like, I don't know, you've just been always doing shit. If that makes sense. Yeah, I know. You're like, what the hell? But no, truly, I've always just like admired you from afar. And then we always were in like in overlapping circles.
Yeah.
Like we knew of each other for sure. We'd always say hi to each other, but we didn't like know each other.
Right.
And then I don't know how to explain it, but you always can feel or sense when somebody's going to be doing something with their life. I don't know why. I can just like feel it in my little tingly senses. I don't know. Maybe it's the vinegar water.
I was just going to say,
I'm
it's
not
our
sure
expired kombucha.
What tingly sensation I'm feeling. No, but literally I just knew. And you like literally created a media company out of like nowhere land.
Nowhere
all
land.
by yourself. Solo dolo.
Solo dolo.
And you started vlogging.
I did.
And you started vlogging really tough shit about your life.
Yeah.
Stuff that people are not talking about.
Yeah.
That I admired beyond words. Like truly beyond
Stop.
words. Yeah.
I said I was not going to cry.
Oh my God. Well, guess what? We might have little tears today. We might have little tears
No,
today.
I will like cough and do other things instead of cry.
She's going to cough in the microphone. But I'm just so excited that you're here because
Thank
truly
you.
you're like an inspiration. I don't think you realize that.
Sid.
And to be in your circle is a win.
Oh my gosh, you are literally going to make me cry.
Sorry.
No, you're so sweet. I'm just so honored to be here. And I think, yeah, a lot of why I started my vlog was because things were hard.
Yeah.
And I think that it's not talked about enough. I think that skeletons out is totally my mantra.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really want to connect with somebody unless their skeletons are out too.
Yep.
And unless they're willing to say like, hey, I saw you're going through something hard. I am too. And I'm like, oh man, doesn't that shit suck? Mm-hmm. And it's like, what can I do for you? What can you do for me? Like, can you help? What did your grandma say about that? Or what did my dad say about that? That's just like such a beautiful thing about humans that is lost in the age of social media and in the age where we don't call people anymore. It's lost. So the vlog was really a place for me to just say, holy shit, like I just had this happen, that happen. Like I didn't really want to talk about this stuff on my vlog, but this is what I'm going through and I'm not going to hide it.
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing to be public about in a lot of scenarios, but it's also just like, I got one life here.
Yeah.
If I can help someone going through something I'm going through, be a shoulder, like it's worth it tenfold.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your life. Don't waste your words. I think the worst thing that people can do is pretend that everything is okay all the time. It's so
100%.
fake.
And I know people like that. And I had best friends that were like that. And it was, I felt like a shitstorm all the time because I'm like, holy crap, everything I'm going through right now is hard. But I think that those are what make you, and so cliche, it makes you who you are.
Yeah.
And your people show up for you when you need them. And you cannot experience the highs without the lows.
Oh my God, I say that all the time.
In a capacity that you feel when you're high and on the mountaintop, you never thought you'd be there. Mm-hmm. It is so much sweeter when you've hit the lows.
Yeah, because you
and
know what to compare it to.
you do. And like how much work you put in to get there or how much internalizing you put to get there, the sacrifices you made. I think that all those things only come with hardships.
Absolutely.
I mean, if everything was easy, I wouldn't sacrifice anything.
No, why would you? You
Like
could just
marriage.
coast.
You're about
hang
to
out.
learn, sister.
Oh, I'm aware.
You're about to learn.
Trust me, sister. I came from a divorced parent situation
did
too.
I.
Yeah, and so I've been fearful of this shit since day one, since birth, baby.
Not
And I'm
weird
like,
that we found men so similar.
No, I know. I'm like, oh wait, what? We've got the quiet, like do their own thing. Literally,
Steady
don't
Eddie.
socialize. Steady Eddie, chill.
Oh, so chill.
Got it. Cool. Sweet.
Literally, like, could not be more getting. I'm like about to swear.
Wait, I love no. You can say fuck. Who cares? I say fuck. I say shit. Who
I
cares?
said this earlier. I got grandmas out there.
But my grandma listened and she
I know.
loved it. And she's like, you have got a potty mouth, but I really like the content. That's
I
what
really
she
do.
says.
No,
That's what she used to say.
I really do have a mouth of a sailor.
I do too.
And I do get my wrist slapped all the time with my nephews and niece. So,
Well, we can only be so good.
yeah,
That's all I
agreed.
gotta say.
I'm
about
trying in other places.
Whatever.
Come on.
Okay, so you created Lens Media, and
Yes.
that's obviously a huge part of your life, and we're gonna get to
Huge,
that.
yep.
But can you tell me what we're talking about when you're talking about like positivity and
Yes.
finding our mindset? Because we're talking about years and years of like stuff going on in your life. Where
I
should we
would-
even start?
I would say, honestly, my whole, I'm not going to tell my whole life, but I would say we're talking about trying to conceive and having a miscarriage. And we're talking about, it's a very touchy subject, whether it's infertility, fertility. I stray away from the word infertility. The more I've learned, some doctors will bucket me into an infertility, cap. And I'm like, okay, some doctors are like, they're crazy. You've been pregnant before. Like, what are you talking about? So I don't like the word infertility in general, but I wanted to come on, and you invited me on to kind of share my story with trying to conceive.
Yeah.
And not only has it been a journey of wanting a baby, it's been a complete transformation in my life, from how I feel to who I surround myself with to what I'm eating, drinking, not vinegar, not expired Palomas from summer. Hiller was like, put them in the
Oopsie.
bag, put them in the Keo. Shout out. But
Shout out.
I was literally like thinking about how I was going to talk about this on your pod. You have such an amazing audience, and I know a lot of them are like-minded women, and to be able to share my journey. And I've told Sid this before we started, but if I can be a shoulder or a friend to one person, all of this will have been worth it.
Absolutely.
Like, all of it tenfold. So
I want to share this with you really quick before you tell your story. I put on my story today, and I only did it earlier today. I'm going to look how many hours it's been up. It's only been up, I think, 2 hours or 3 hours. Let me look. And I asked the question, have you ever encountered a miscarriage? And 77% of people said yes, a friend or family member. And 11% of people said yes, myself or my partner. So only about 12% of people said they haven't experienced it in any capacity. I looked, and many of the people who said no were male.
Well, and that they know of, right?
Yeah, that they know of, right? Yeah. So that's exactly what I was going to say. So just so you know, 77%
you guys,
of people
it's 1 in
said
4.
yes.
It's
I know
1
someone.
in 4 pregnancies now.
Yeah.
And that's something, again, like when I was going to be public about this on my vlog, I mean, whatever.
But
public, like,
yeah.
I mean, with my network and people that did follow me, et cetera. But when I decided, I was like, I don't care my fears to share this journey, because I know one of my friends are going to have a miscarriage. Yeah. And I know that, I mean, my sisters, my cousins, like, it's a very real thing, and it's not something everyone can grasp, because it's not a grief that people can see.
No.
They didn't meet your baby that's in your womb. They didn't feel the connection you had. If you had one, like, they don't see it.
No.
So it's a different type of grief. And I also just want to say, like, disclaimer, this was as hard on Taylor.
Yeah.
My husband. And I think, I had a buddy's friend. I ran into him in the airport, and his dad is 65 years old. And he came up to me and he watched my vlog, and I almost like threw up. I was like, holy shit.
Oh my God.
And he said, Courtney, we had 4 miscarriages before we had our baby boys. And he said, I think about those babies every single day.
Stop.
Yep. And I literally gave him the biggest hug, and he's like, thank you for doing the good work.
Oh my
and
God.
talking about it, because
That makes me emotional.
I know. And I was like, in that moment, I was like, see, all my fears, like anything that I was holding back was just not worth it.
No.
It was like, I'm going to connect with my husband's best friend's dad in the airport randomly and see him and shed a tear with him.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yes. That's
in
what
life.
life's about.
That's
it's about
what I want in life.
together.
And I was at first so cringe. I was like, What did he see?
Stop. No.
What did he see?
No.
It better not have been Miami or any of those wild ones.
Oh, stop.
No, but it was just like a moment of just full circle being like, I am not going to be shy about my truth and what I believe in and the hardships.
I'm so proud of you. And I'm so proud of sharing. You were sharing. Like, it's actually, it's a beautiful thing to watch you share. Like, it's really, really fun. Like, anybody who's out there, especially my people on YouTube that are already out there, go check her out too. Wait, what's your handle really quick?
It's Lala Montero.
Lala Montero, yeah.
L-A-L. No, it should just be Lala Montero.
Okay.
But for sure, L-A-L-A-A-A Montero, because everything else is taken.
Oh, true. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And if you don't know, I like Sid call me Court Lala. Like, it's funny I
call you Lala. It's
in a professional setting. I'm like, hi, I'm Courtney, but I would say like 80% of people in my life call me Lala.
Yeah.
So it's not just
I like mix it too, because I'm like,
Well, it is Court. It literally was Court Lala because no one knew my name in college.
Yep. I'm like, I'm good with Lala. I'm like, I'm chilling with Lala. I'm saying La La Land.
And it came from La 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 choir in 7th grade.
No, that's not real.
Oh, I swear.
Are you a good singer?
Swear on the kombucha. I mean, no. I mean, I sang.
Okay.
Next topic.
Okay.
Grandma, if you're out there, don't slap my wrist.
Don't slap her, please. Okay, so obviously going through this took a freaking toll on you and who you are. But like, what did you find out? Because there's reasons behind why those things happen.
Definitely.
There's also things that it opens your eyes up to.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I would say that every cycle that you don't get pregnant, you learn more. Yeah. And if you're engaged and if you're wanting to get pregnant and if you have a good OB and good doctors and in my case, chiropractors and healers and acupuncturists, but you learn more about why. And I said this earlier, but do not take, I'm so sick of it takes a year, OBs saying try for a year, come to me, try for 6 months. Go to the doctor the second you don't feel right about something. They cannot turn you away. There was a point where I was like, I am your client. And she was saying, you're healing from your miscarriage. And I was like, there's something else wrong. It's not just that. And I learned so much. Like, I feel like I'm just like this sponge of soaking up every single thing around me in a brand new quote unquote industry, right?
Yeah.
And it's so overwhelming. I can't even tell you. Like, the things you have to track. You're talking weight, progesterone, LH. You're talking when you're ovulating, why you're not ovulating, what you're eating, supplements, herbs, like whether your doctor prescribed you medicine. Like, there's so many things, Sid.
Holy shit.
I treated getting pregnant other than the last couple months, a full-time job for a year. Like it was like I was in the doctor every week twice for drawing blood, meeting with my OB. They're looking at your urine. I mean, there's just so many things. Scale, like I was saying, hair loss, all those things. Like, if I'll tie it to this. This is one of the main things I want to hit home today. And I say it very lightly because it's probably not going to make people trying to conceive feel good. Mm-hmm. And it's just a hard truth. And I'm like literally fiddling with my thumb because it's sad. But if you're not getting pregnant, there's probably something wrong. Yeah. And that's really heavy. Mm-hmm. And I learned really quickly that I had a lot of shit I had to figure out internally.
Did you know prior to like any of this happening that there was maybe something going on?
No, because
in your body?
So the thing is I grew up as I was like 15, 16 years old. It's always been like probably my biggest fear is that I couldn't carry babies or have babies, from my husband or whatever it might be. And I think that the other options out there, adoption, IVF, surrogacy, those are all literally gifts from God, like that people can do those things. But I just have always wanted to be a mom. And I thought it would take us years to get pregnant. Like, I was like, there's going to be trials because truthfully, a lot of the stuff in my life has been hard. Yeah. You have to find like a strength and a resilience that is incomparable. Yeah. I mean, truthfully. So no, I did not have any inkling that it would take this long because the first time we tried in August of 2022, we got pregnant the first time we tried.
Which I can't even like believe.
Me neither.
Like, holy crap.
And it was
unheard of.
Unheard of. Like, I felt like the chosen one. Like, okay, Christ is in me.
Yes.
One cycle and boom, Taylor was like, oh, I one and done.
Yeah, I was like,
easy.
Yeah, chill with that, buddy.
Easy. But no, it's amazing how the world can flip like that, and it's amazing to me, like what God can do. And also just, you have no idea what's coming. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I can't imagine the feeling. I know, this is not to share with like good reason or like good feeling, but my friend that I know had also had this happen the first time first period and had this same thing happen. That's all I can say without, giving any more away. But yeah, it was the worst, most horrible thing. I mean, seeing a friend hurt like that is probably the hardest thing that I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Because you feel what they're feeling as a woman.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my God, I had no idea. Like,
I know.
I mean, and I can't feel what they're feeling, but feeling for them as like a sister is just like the most painful thing in the world.
I know. And I have friends that literally will cry and be like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, there's really nothing. Support, asking about it is nice.
Yeah.
People, not like when are you having kids? It's like, we're working on it, like the random stranger. But I love when a friend is like, how's the journey? You know, because it's different every cycle. Like every time I'm trying to do something different. And like I said earlier, it's not a grief people can really relate to because they didn't really know you were pregnant. You know, it was the first trimester. You were probably on your deathbed. You were so sick. Like in my first trimester, I literally ate Sour Patch Kids and applesauce. There was that for almost 3 full months.
Yep.
Maybe a goldfish here and there. Like
if you could get it down.
Yep. Like it really
I've heard this before.
It was really that bad. Like it's what people say. And if you're chosen from God and divine intervention and you're not sick during your first trimester, like I envy you more than anyone in the world.
I've never even heard of that before.
There are people
not
out there.
being sick.
There are people out there.
How is that possible? I've never heard of that.
Oh, the pregnancy glow. I feel so good. I mean, I was poor Taylor.
Oh my God.
When I tell you, he would walk in and be like, what do you want for lunch or dinner? And I'd be like, crawling on all fours. I would be like, get out. I mean, the fridge, caution tape around that thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't even open it.
Oh
if
my
he
God,
opened it, I was
seriously?
like, close it.
Because it was so gross.
Nothing ever sounded good to eat, ever. Like, especially from home. Oh,
Really?
oh my God. No.
That is the wildest shit. I mean, I've
know.
heard of like, my friend like couldn't even smell coffee or she'd throw up.
Oh no, I could.
And she loves coffee.
So I am literally, my personal brand started as a candle company. I am obsessed with fragrances, obsessed with candles, all things scents. And I couldn't use soap.
What?
In the shower. I couldn't use shampoo. I couldn't use body wash. I couldn't use lotion. The scents of anything were like, I would be gagging in the shower. I know, it's like that bad.
Oh
so
my
kudos
God.
to people out there, women and honestly men that put up with it.
I know, true. Because God only knows how they're getting through that.
Oh,
Please.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I should have Taylor on here. I mean, seriously.
I would love to hear from him. I'm not going to lie.
The
boys would have fun.
The boys would have fun. And he's not a big words guy, but he would tell you it was not pretty.
I'm sure not.
No. And I'm talking sleeping like 20 hours a day.
Oh my God. How did you work? Were you
I
working?
barely worked. I mean, I was in corporate 9 to 5. When I was awake, I was working. And I would go to bed at like 6, wake up at like 4:30 in the morning, eat a couple crackers, go back to bed till like 9, wake up, try not to vomit, try to shower, try to make the bed. I mean, it was so, and by the way, I will say this too. Like when we move on to the miscarriage stuff, I probably had a harder first trimester than most people because my body was fighting to keep her alive the whole time.
Okay.
So it was trying really, really hard to not let her pass. So that does make it, they say that the symptoms kind of are, because we're getting all over the place, but we found out our baby had Turner syndrome, which is a genetic disorder.
Oh, I'm not
it's
familiar.
It's in the bracket of like Down syndrome and et cetera. But we found out through genetic testing, she had that when she passed. And that's how we found out it was a girl too. So those early tests are really powerful. And that's the only reason we had answers as to why she passed. I mean, had we not taken that test because I'm a control freak and wanted to know the gender, we never would have known she passed because of Turner syndrome.
Oh my God.
And by the way, Sid, so many people that have a baby that's passed, it's something like that and they don't know.
And they have no idea.
They have no idea.
And they almost like, at times I'm sure can blame their body or some mistake that they made when it has nothing to do with that.
Oh my God. My doctor was literally,
Oh my
when I
God.
found out, my doctor literally was like, Courtney, there's not one thing you could have ate, drank, smoked, shot up that would have made this happen. Okay. And that made me feel so good because I was like, all I've eaten is Sour Patch Kids and applesauce. I should have mixed in a protein shake.
Oh, stop.
And she was like, there's not one thing you could do. Like people go their whole pregnancy smoking and eating tuna and
of course.
Whatever you want to say. I know people that eat tuna all the time and have had perfect babies. You know, it's not anything you're doing. And of course, like later on, like definitely disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer, but like
sorry, don't eat too much tuna.
Don't have that sushi, please, while you're preggo.
That was the first meal I had after we did miscarriage.
Oh my God, I'm sure it was.
I
That's
know.
literally my friends.
We went to
bring
Billy.
it now.
We went to Billy. I went with my 3 closest friends and we went to Billy.
Oh my
sushi.
God. Well, yeah, that was
I had
probably
a
like,
spritz.
yeah, you
no,
needed
it was.
to.
It was like, and oh my God, I'm not talking about this as like a celebration thing, but it was like I was so down. And I had one day before my DNC.
Yeah.
And I was like, how in the hell am I supposed to sleep knowing I have my dead daughter in my body?
Yeah.
You know, like that was really wild.
That makes me have a pit in my stomach.
I know. I mean, I remember talking to Taylor and being like, what are we going to do all night?
Yeah.
So my girlfriends were like, let's go get dinner. And I was like, that is perfect.
Let's get you out of the house.
And exactly. Like
But
out of the house.
you need your people. You need your people when shit like this happens, and you cannot turn inward and be like, I'm going to like go in my hole.
No. And when I say that one of the biggest blessings that this situation has brought upon in my life is our community rallied around us. Oh my God. Our closest friends, our family, their world was like shaken like it was ours. Like our world stopped for 4 or 5 days. Like we just mourned and cried, and Taylor just held me, and my dogs were sad about something. They, you know how intuitive they are, especially my little monsters. But it stopped, and we had friends drop off food. We had friends drop off, you know, flowers. We actually had to go to Arizona for a wedding we were both in, right after. So it was just like so many feelings, and I am just like not one to let or want people worrying about me. Like it's something about being a divorced child. Like I'm like, don't worry about me. Like I'm good.
I have the same issue.
Same issue.
I get bothered.
The
when
only
people
one check
in. I'm like, what? I'm fine.
I know. I'm like, look away.
Yeah.
You know. Which is a bad thing.
I know.
We should let people worry and pray for us.
I know.
But like I'm only comfortable with Taylor worrying about me. It's the weirdest thing in the world. But anyway, so we had that wedding, and I was terrified to like address it there and to have people giving me any attention when my friend was getting married, and it was just like really shitty timing.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. That's so much going on at the same time.
It really was. And I'll say one thing about having a miscarriage, and honestly, I hope people that join this like podcast episode know that that's what we're talking about, because I want to tread lightly with it, because it's such a touching, it's so sensitive per person. And I would say like universally it's pretty sensitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
But having a miscarriage is feeling like literally being the highest of highs going to the lowest of lows, like so fast. Like the song Bigger Than the Whole Sky by Taylor Swift is truthfully exactly how we feel. She says salt streams out my eyes and into my ears. Like you're literally laying on a hospital bed or like a ultrasound bed, and my stream of my tears literally went into my ears. Like, and she said that, and I was like, this song to me is about a miscarriage. There's no other way around it. And
oh my God,
you just have this rug pulled from under your feet. You know, I told you earlier, the second you get pregnant, you are mom mode.
Yeah,
you are like, what should I?
Oh my God.
And you're getting so excited. And I'll say that too, like with being pregnant and how sick I was, I never complained other than to Taylor, because I was like, this is the biggest blessing in our life.
Yeah.
And I'm sick and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm growing something. Like this is amazing.
Yeah.
I should be sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, like I have never been there, but I understand.
You can understand.
Like as an outsider and as a female.
I always say love the symptoms, because I feel like when you feel symptoms like new every day, like it's kicking and things are growing, and that's fun.
It is.
It's really fun.
So talk to me about the healing journey of this. Like you find this out, you're moving forward. You think like you've got to fix things physically. You know what I mean? Like that's what your brain maybe goes to. I'm also like speaking for you just based on what we've talked about.
Definitely.
Not like assuming, but just like talk to me about this healing journey that you had to get on.
Yeah. So the day we got home from Arizona was like day one of trying to conceive, I would say. Like I was that quick, you know. I think I was in a denial mode for sure of just wanting another baby so fast, because you're in that mode. And the thought of not being in that mode was, I mean, not gut wrenching. It was like life altering, like the lowest of lows, I'm talking. And the healing journey, I wasn't even considering at the time. I was like, no, we're moving forward, baby. We're not even going to try and heal. We're just going to get another one in there and we're going to deal with it. You know?
Yep.
When I tell you that that's the worst approach ever, I tell you with full certainty. I've now in this place. It's so funny when you ask me to come on the podcast, because that week I figured out, like in my heart, I look back and I feel like I know why things are happening the way they are. And I feel like I can organize different phases.
Really?
Yeah. So when we got home from Arizona, it was full on try to conceive, like don't heal, just try and get another baby in the life to get excited about. It felt really wrong wanting another baby so fast, because I felt very connected to Jet. Oh, our baby in heaven's name is Georgette.
Oh,
yeah,
cutie.
Sweet little Jet.
Oh,
She's
sweetie girl.
I know, sweet girl. Yeah, she's the light of our life still. We talk about her all the time. And chromosomal disorder and all, we wanted every capacity we could have her in.
You did.
You know, we would have gone to bat to try and have her. And but when you asked me to be on the pod, I was like, oh my gosh, Sid, this is so weird, because I feel like I actually finally have a grasp of what happened. So when I got home again, from Arizona, it was try and have a baby again, stay in this mom mode, get excited about something, not heal. And then kind of realized that wasn't happening, right? Everyone's like, you're going to get pregnant so quick because you already were, like all this stuff. That was the energy floating around me. So I believed it. And so I would warrant everyone to be careful what they say with false promises, because you have no idea what's going to happen.
Well, you hadn't healed / there was something going on in your body. Let's say, we don't know where it was at this point, but there's something going on and you're not spending any time trying to figure out what's going on.
No.
You're just trying to figure out how do we do it again
Correct.
and like make it work this time.
Correct. Supplement, whatever it was. And then come in spring, right? So this is spring of last year. So we're talking a year ago. I realized something was actually wrong. So incredibly depressed. Like I was diagnosed with depression a while ago, but this is like new levels of depression and, gaining weight, even though I did Whole30 for like 40 days and I gained weight. Working out with negative energy. I'm talking like, you've seen me in GTX. Like, literally fainting every time I work out, even if I'm eating and all this stuff. So I knew something else was wrong. And I was like, face the mirror, go do it. Go figure it out. Go to the doctors you've been afraid to go to.
You were avoiding it.
Oh my God. I feel like I've been avoiding everything internally for like all my adulthood life. And so I end up going to a hormonal specialist and they were amazing. They told me so many things, said like my cortisol levels, which is stress, like they could not believe I was 28 years old. Like they were like, no, they were like, your cortisol levels are like a 50-year-old CEO running a company, like pitching to a board. Like they're like, these levels are not normal in someone your age. And I found out I was pre-diabetic. I found out I have genetically high cholesterol. And then I found out genetically I have an insulin resistance. Wow. So I had
that makes sense now with all the symptoms.
It does. And that's what I was saying. Like Western med, I'm very for it. But the approach is to fix a symptom.
Yeah, I know.
It's not to figure out why it's there. And I think that we need to rewire our brains into thinking that symptoms are sometimes a blessing, because we're not going to know something's wrong unless there's a symptom.
Body's going to tell you what's going on.
It is. And
it always does.
I pray it does.
Yeah.
I pray it does. And so I just had to get out of my own way and say, F it, I'm going to go face the mirror, face what I'm so scared of. And it was these things, I was afraid I was pre-diabetic. Like things I was eating healthy, they weren't getting stored right. Like all this stuff. Again, this is me physically trying to fix things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Hormones, supplementing with progesterone, doing all the triggering for ovulation. These are all the physical things that should welcome a pregnancy.
Yep.
My doctors are like, what is going on? You're ovulating now because we're triggering it, all this stuff. And it wasn't really until probably August when I looked in the mirror and I said, I still don't feel good. And I lost weight and I was finally eating things that felt good. And I figured out what I was allergic to. And I was like, why am I trying to have a baby so bad when I don't even feel good? That baby's not going to feel good.
Yeah.
Like you got to have a welcoming, loving energy. And I know how quickly it all goes away when you do get pregnant. So it's like, I literally looked at myself and was like, I don't think not that I'm not ready, but there's something wrong still.
Yeah.
And I'm doing all the physical stuff right. I'm in the gym. I'm eating right. We're cooking at home, drinking so much water, supplementing, trying to conceive schedule, all really good there. Shout out to the husband.
Yeah, shout out Taylor. We see you. We love you.
We're talking about you.
Yeah.
But we were following the rule book,
yeah.
Of everything you're supposed to do.
Shit.
Because we want one that bad though.
Yeah.
It's like you have sex at this time. Okay. You take this 3 things of progesterone. Although you feel like you might want to die.
Yep.
Okay. Doesn't matter. Go on. Take 3 shots to trigger ovulation. No prob. Not even thinking what it's doing to me.
You were doing like the full on shots in the
not
side
IVF,
things?
but
okay.
yes.
I'm not familiar with the different ones. Okay. So, but it was progesterone shots.
So no, I took progesterone supplements. There are vaginal inserts and there are oral.
Wow,
I did
I didn't
both.
know that.
And you feel, in the place I felt like literal death, bloated beyond belief. Like I could have been 6 months pregnant looking at myself. But the ovulation trigger shot, it's 2 shots and it triggers your body to ovulate.
Got it. Okay.
Which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And it's successful. I know very dear friends, people in my life that have done it and it's successful and they have healthy babies. Didn't work for me. So here we go, getting into the other. So I look at this, like I said, I kind of categorized and organized my journey. And that is the 50% of the physical healing. And when I say 50%, that's generous because the bulk of healing is mental and it's spiritual, and if you're fixing and you're working, not fixing, I hate that word, but if you're working on your emotional, mental, spiritual self,
Yeah.
physical things will come.
How does one work on it?
I would say honestly, a really good place to start is actually getting your blood drawn and seeing like your levels, because that's a good place to actually start with your stress. And like your stress will kill you. Like everyone says it's the silent killer. It's not silent. Like my body has shut down because of stress and fear. And I think to focus on healing, I mean, I had to hit rock bottom. I don't know if I can tell anybody how to do it because it's different for everybody, but I had to hit absolute rock bottom. Like this was less than 4 months ago.
Oh my God, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I mean, this is when I started Lens Media.
Wow.
And I mean, rock bottom, like white flag. Like I have no idea what to do. You know, the only outcome is the one I take a step towards.
Yep.
And that's just like, I don't know where to go. You know, we've tried everything except looking in the mirror and except facing things I didn't want to face.
Like
Grief, trauma,
your body keeps score.
pain, hurt. I mean, so many things, but it's emotional. And so many people say, right? Like your body hangs on to a miscarriage, your body hangs on to grief.
The body keeps scores.
The body keeps score.
What I was referencing.
It's 100% true.
Yeah.
But then when you tell yourself that, you're like, whatever, you know, like my body's fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. And the release I've had since focusing on the other 50% of healing, the journey, how full my cup is, I understand the reason for this season now. And I truthfully choose this over Courtney a year and a half ago getting pregnant, over wanting a baby the second we wanted one. I choose this because I am going to be a better friend, daughter, wife, mother because of it. And I'm going to help not only our future children, but my in-laws, my parents, my siblings, my friends. You know, I'm going to be able to say, you guys, like, you know, you're losing hair, something's wrong. You know, you can't lose weight or you can't gain weight, something's wrong. And I can help you. You know, I can help you just even find the right people to talk to or just be a safe place, you know. And I think that is such a blessing.
It is.
And it wasn't going to be me without being infertile. I'll tell you that much. Like I was like, rub some dirt in it. Like
I'm going to be good.
I'm going to be good. Like without getting to the place where I couldn't have a baby for almost 2 years, I never would have faced this ever. And oh my God, am I going to be a happier, healthier human being because of it?
And when you like bury your child, holy shit, you're going to be feeling fine. Mighty fucking fine. No, seriously though. Like imagine the life that this baby's going to come into now.
Oh
like,
my God.
It's going to be insane.
Oh my God. I mean,
it's going to be like the best thing in the world.
Poor child.
No, I can't wait. I'm hyped already. I'm like, I'm going to get her a Prada. He or she, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care. You're getting a Prada.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm like going to get her a tiny mini purse this big because she's already going to be he or she's. Keep saying she because I'm just like, I want her to have a little purse.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Same. So bad.
Sorry.
So bad. And
I'm like,
literally by the way, same to everything you just said. Literally everything. But it was such an intention of being like, I did the physical stuff and I still don't feel good.
Yeah.
What is going on? Look in the mirror.
What did you do when you looked in the mirror and you knew something was still wrong? Like how is one processing through emotional, mental, things that are inside? I mean, you say you went and did blood work and it tells you a lot.
It does.
But then what happens?
I think that there's like, for me, there was a staggering moment of taking it in, finding out I had kind of all these conditions and, that were manageable though, right? Yep. I had let myself get to that place. I mean, with alcohol and no sleep and work grinding and I mean, toxic relationships and grief. Grief is a really big one. I let myself get to that place and not in a sense where I'm hard on myself by any means, but I knew that when I went to get my blood work done and I knew when I went to my energy healer and I knew when I went all these places, like there were things that were going to unfold that I was really afraid to talk about and that I didn't want to just bring into the universe, you know? So when you ask if I look in the mirror, what did it feel like? It felt very overwhelming and I cried a lot and I am finally through a season of crying so much, I would say. And I'm like, I don't like to cry in front of people, like, but I do wear my heart on my sleeve. Like I cried a lot And that's healing too.
Yeah.
That's healing too. And it really was just getting in tune with, and I know this sounds so frou-frou, you guys. Like I am not
No, it
like,
doesn't.
I know, but like if I was listening to this, I'd be like, oh, get in tune with yourself. Like,
no,
you know,
I know
would.
that, but I
really would. But if I'm saying this, like anyone in the world can do it.
Yeah.
Like truthfully, again, I'm like a rub with some dirt in it, move forward, like no time to waste kind of gal. But I have learned that stress and fear can literally halt your body from doing what it's supposed to be doing, aka getting pregnant. And that's why I said earlier, something is wrong, probably, and not always, right? Like you can throw it up to God's timing or whatever you want, but 9 times out of 10, if you're trying to conceive for 6, 8, 10 months, there's something that you're not addressing, whether it is physical, whether it is mental, emotional, like there's something that you need to address. And a doctor can figure it out maybe, you can figure it out maybe, your partner could maybe figure it out, your parents. But my mom has always said, Courtney, you got to let go of the control because I'm an absolute control freak.
I understand. We have a lot of parallels.
Through and through. And it's because of the way I was raised though. Like, and I am not ashamed of it anymore. Like it's in a good in a good setting, and which I put myself in a lot of those these days. It's a very good skill to have.
Absolutely it is.
But for a long time in a toxic state, it's a very bad skill to have.
Yeah, you're controlling everything.
You're trying to.
I understand.
You're trying
especially
to.
when you can't control it.
Well, and you're so anxious.
It makes
and you're so insecure. Worse. And so anyway, looking in the mirror, and I think the first step is just acknowledging and feeling. And I am so in tune with my body now. Like I can feel when an ovary twitches. Like I can feel, and that's just because of I've just started to pay attention.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a big thing too, is I've never been one to like, I tried journaling and all this stuff, but if you can get to a place where you're noticing irregular bowel movements or your cycle's not regular or things like that, start just jotting them down.
Yeah.
Nowhere fancy, but then you can look at it and be like, this isn't normal. It's not a normal pattern.
Yeah.
You know, our cycles are like actually, as much as we hate Aunt Flo, who is the period, that's what people in the trying to conceive world, it's called the AF, the Aunt Flo.
Oh wait, that is so fun.
I know. And then like BFP is big fat positive. It's so weird.
Oh my God, what
yeah.
the F?
No, it's like you literally need an Urban Dictionary for trying to
Yeah,
conceive.
what the hell?
But as much as we hate Aunt Flo, she is like really powerful.
Of course
and
is.
she like with the tides and the weird shit that our periods can do. Like if I spend a bunch of time with you and we sync up, that is weird.
The how? I don't
get it either. Nope,
but
don't
like,
know.
I'm like, huh?
Don't
like,
know.
How?
Don't know if I want to.
Yeah, I don't care.
Don't care.
Sounds
Don't
like
care.
a lot of voodoo. That's all I gotta say about that.
No, but it's like the same thing with
it's
like
true.
skin to skin. And
Yes.
like there's something that our body does because we're women and it's powerful.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you can track those things, and honestly, you guys, that's my first advice to anybody not even trying to get pregnant is start tracking your period.
Yeah.
It sounds so simple, but a lot of people don't do it.
I'm surprised that people don't, especially if
So
you're not
many
on birth
people
control.
don't.
If you're off birth control, like you got to be tracking. I mean, I'm sure most people are if they're off. I mean, I just
would
had
think.
Dr. Jolene Brighton on.
Yes, well, such a good
2
episode.
episodes ago, I suppose it
So
would be.
good.
And she was talking about how like even if you're not like thinking about getting pregnant, getting off the pill before you want to get pregnant is
Cleansing.
very important because your
It
body
is.
takes like 2 years to cleanse at least, she said.
But then I have a friend that literally got pregnant without her period even coming, and she has a perfectly healthy baby boy. But I do agree with your doctor or the doctor.
You just never know.
You
I
don't.
mean,
And it's just good to cleanse. I mean, the pill literally makes your body mimic pregnancy, which is why it doesn't accept a pregnancy. There's something not right about that
you
with
think?
15, 16. I mean, I was 15. I wanted to get rid of my acne and poof, it was gone.
13.
And no. Oh my God.
13 had the worst period cramps known to man.
Oh my
Little did
God,
I know
Sid.
now sitting here, I asked my mom about like health patterns and just like things that, you know, I should know. And it's like, oh yeah, I know like one of my aunts got a hysterectomy and so did her daughter. And I'm like, so you're telling me
This is in the
that I
family?
went on like birth control at age 13, huh? From heavy ass periods that killed me.
This is the trauma we're talking about.
And people have gotten off, not been able to conceive and have gotten hysterectomies
That's awful. Yeah.
in my family. It's like, dude, what?
I know.
But I'm like, who the fuck is withholding this information?
Because women don't talk about it, Sid.
Because we just don't know.
And we don't have a comfortable place to like have an open floor about it. And
Exactly that's why I've been doing it. You know what I mean?
And why we're talking about it right now. I mean, it's
Exactly.
why I wanted to talk about it was because, first of all, women go through more than I can even say. Like, I know a woman in my life that was like, menopause was literally harder than being pregnant and having kids. And I'm like, I didn't know that.
No one knows. Nobody knows.
Can I read about that somewhere? Like, I'm freaking out about menopause now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And God bless moms and women our age or our parents' age and older. Like, they didn't have social media. They had nothing.
I know. I can't.
And it was
like
taboo to talk
sympathize.
about. And it was all the things. So God bless those women. I mean, seriously, I cannot imagine.
Amazing Minnesota company for those of you like anywhere ever, like, but it's based in Minnesota. It's called it's called My Womanness on Instagram, but it's Womanness. And I had them in the goodie bags at the event.
Oh my gosh.
It's the lotion. It's a woman who had a terrible experience with menopause and was like, there are no products on the market that like do this, and this. And she made it, but it's not just menopause. It's all things women.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's lube, there's like neck stuff, there's body lotion.
Wait, I need to
there's,
get
like,
some.
a shit ton of stuff. And she's going to come on the pod actually too. Because I want to
Amazing.
know about menopause. I want to know what's
100%.
going to like, what am I going to endure? Like, I don't know.
What can we prepare?
But not to like, sorry, taking
No,
us
but
on
what
a
can we
tangent, but
what can
seriously.
we prepare? You know,
Well,
like
in the-
there are things we can do to make our cycles easier.
Yeah.
And there are things we can eat. I mean, we can cycle. I mean, I'm not giving any advice because everyone is so different, but there are so many things that our cycle is reflective of in our lifestyle.
Well, and even the fact that we're talking about miscarriages, I've never heard of a podcast episode that's talking about this for one thing. I've never personally
I've never listened
to
to one. No.
But
Unless it's like a fertility
yes,
focus.
fertility
Yeah.
focus
Yeah.
is exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like if 1 in 4
It is 1 in 4.
this is happening to.
Yep.
And I personally know people that have been through it, and you've been through it, and you know people that have been through it, and 78% of people on the story know of a friend or family member that have been through it, and then on top of that, the other 12% that have been through it
Personally, right.
We need to know how to support each other, and we need to know how to be mentally prepared to have these things happen when things go not as planned.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Because they're not going to always go as planned.
I think that's one thing you can count on is change.
I know.
I mean, that's one thing you can count on is like not having a constant. And I mean, I look at my husband and there's not a day I take him for granted because he's my constant. Right. And I look at the Lord as my constant, and there are things that I'm like, but one day, you know, Taylor won't be here or I won't be here. And it's like, holy deep. Well,
I know,
we're going
but
down.
like seriously.
But it's like, you got to rely on change.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you rely on change and are ready for change, you're not afraid of it. And that's another big thing that I need to hit home is fear. Like Let's
talk about that.
Yeah. So I'm going to an energy healer. She's a chiropractor. She's out of this world. And
I'd love to go to her if you
yeah,
share her
I'll tell
info.
you. I will. And she, I don't know if she's ready for like 90,000 of your listeners.
Oh God. Well, but I'd also love to just like go get
I know.
energy healing with
no,
her.
and
though.
she's just like a feeler. Like she feels your pain, and she really just I mean, my first 3 appointments with her have been 5 hours long.
Stop.
Swear. Because she's like, we need to unpack this. And like, then she'll crack and adjust me, and she lays me on a biomat and crystals, and she's a Christian, and she's just like this amazing woman that helps me. She's like a therapist.
Yeah. It's just
It's like a physical therapist.
Yeah, literally.
Literally, but not like sports, like a
Yes.
physical, emotional therapist that like helps you release tension in your body.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of it. Like,
Well, this is a part of that healing journey that like, I mean,
Tenfold.
although physical, this is very mental.
Yes.
This is very spiritual, mental. And like all of this is reflection, basically. I mean,
Completely.
fear and reflection
No,
is
completely.
what you're healing. I mean,
completely. And I mean, I think that my stress levels were caused from fear. I don't know, like a lot of people, if my friends are out there, hey, but like
They are.
I have a nephew that passed away at 2.5.
yeah.
And I have another nephew that was born with a fatal heart condition that has had 7 or 8 open heart surgeries, and he's 5.
I can't believe that.
That is what fear I'm talking about, is when someone calls my family, I'm like afraid something has happened. And that is fear that I just now talking about it constricts my abdomen area. I mean, I clench, you know, and that is literally affecting me being able to have a baby.
Absolutely
Like
it
that
is.
clenching. And I've had in the last 3 months 5 procedures on my pelvic area, and I found out I was diagnosed with endometriosis. And many people will argue that you're born with it. Many people will argue that you're not. There's no adamant cause from it. And I think it came from my grief and my fear, because I grew up with bad periods, yes, but so did everyone in my family. And none of them had a hard time. I mean, my grandmas, my aunts, like they were putting out babies like rabbits. Like
Yep.
that, I mean, it makes sense, because when I talk about my nephews, I clench up and
I
feel tense. And endometriosis is where cells around cells that are in your uterine lining, so in your uterus, are outside of your uterus. So things kind of get stuck.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean you can't get pregnant by any means. I think it's like 70% of people can get pregnant naturally, which is amazing. But it does, a lot of people have really bad, like not versions, stages of endometriosis where it's debilitating pain. They do need help with fertility. And they diagnosed me with that. And I was like, okay. What does that mean?
Yeah. What is that? I mean, I don't even know what that means.
Am I going to be able to get pregnant? Like, what do I need to do? Again, we're kind of in that fix mode. Mm-hmm. And, Western side is like, we're going to try for a couple more months naturally because we cleared out some of that endometriosis tissue and all this stuff. And personally, I feel like my endometriosis was caused by the grief and fear and the way I've treated my body the last 7-8 years. College is rage town. I mean, college is
rage town.
I mean, town. And literally rage town and come here to play school. Like that's what it was. And I
don't disagree whatsoever.
I know. And it was the most fun ever, but it also was like wholly unhealthy. And then you carry that lifestyle into after college and you're working and you're not sleeping well because you're boozing still, and you're just not addressing any of the way you feel because you want to keep up with everybody. You want to have fun. Like,
I know.
I will never forget when one of my first friends decided to stop drinking, and it was a big deal. And now it's happening all the time around us. And it's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are realizing that booze is just not conducive to the lifestyle they want to live. And I'm loving
that.
I know I'm loving this sober curious other than vinegary palomas.
I mean, it's like maybe 1%. I mean, like it literally turned to vinegar.
No, it did, Sid.
I'm like, I kind of love it though.
Speaking of,
it tastes like
looks like water.
It tastes like apple cider vinegar to me. Like I'm sipping apple cider vinegar, and love.
This is supposed to be a Paloma,
Kombucha.
So that is how we know it's expired.
Well, guess what? Any other drink in my fridge, you'd find one like high noon, like one White Claw. Like can't drink those anyway. They're probably so expired. They're probably just like you'd open that and like a little bug would crawl out.
I know. I was like, I'm nervous. I'm gonna bring a drink. Gotta bring something over.
No, I'm glad you did. I'm loving it.
No, so go ahead.
No, I'm just like taking in all of the pieces of your healing journey. I'm just like absorbing everything and just, this new journey that you're on. But here's the thing is you've learned so much about your body.
Oh my gosh.
So much about what you've been holding on to.
So much.
Effort forward is healing, and you're taking all of those things to heal.
Yeah.
In your body, I mean, like they said, on a map, like if you're looking at a blood map, I call it, of like, your cortisol is through the effing roof.
Yep.
That's not doing good things for your body.
Nope.
So the healing journey you're on is 20 fucking steps forward than, where you were even a year ago or maybe even 4 months ago.
100%. And in a place with my doctors now, they're kind of saying like, okay, if, a couple months, more months go by, you're probably ready for IVF. And I'm like, well, who's to say?
Yeah,
well, who's to say? Because I feel like every month that goes by, of course I'm sad, but I'm also more healed.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling better and I'm enjoying life. And believe me, like I've said, I would take a baby over anything that I have, but there is a reason for this season. And I want to hit that home that I believe that there's a reason that I'm put through this trial. Mm-hmm. And whether it's getting closer to God, whether it's finding the people that I need in my life and letting go of ones that I don't need, or whether it's I now know what to eat to sustain a healthy life. These are things I never would have faced had I been blessed with a baby right away. Like I just never would have faced them. Everything was working. Everything was good.
Yep.
Something was broken. We're addressing it. Mm-hmm. We addressed it physically first. Wasn't enough. Now we're doing this spiritually emotional healing stuff, and it is so incredibly liberating. I mean, Taylor's literally like, "Who are you?"
Wait, seriously? I was just gonna ask that. What are your relationships like? Your closest ones?
He just knows that. My friends think I'm more calm.
All my friends have said that recently.
Definitely, and I'm like, I mean, again, I am an elf. Like, if there's an elephant in the room, I used to address it. Heart on my sleeve. If I did one thing wrong, I was like the most anxious person in the world. Like, I would knock on doors and be like, "I need to apologize." Like, I'm so much more sound in my life right now. Mm-hmm. And I just never would have gotten here.
I love seeing you like this though. Like, isn't that so cool to like just be like, wow, I'm showing up totally different.
Yeah.
And that it's like a compliment that I'm showing up different versus the other way around.
I know, but I do feel like sometimes it's like, oh, do people miss like the...
No.
I know.
They don't.
Well, I think...
What's funny is my friends more recently in New York were like, one of my friends came up to me and she goes, "You've never given a shit." And I was like, "What?" And she goes, She was like, I mean this in a good way. Like, you've always just done what you want to do. Like, everyone's drinking and you don't want to drink anymore and you just don't and you just go home.
That's sick.
And I'm like,
no, not me.
Yep. Like,
Not
literally,
me.
that's literally, but I'm like, yep, that's how I do it. And she goes, I've never admired that more than I do right now, because she's like,
Getting
people
there.
are like learning the same things. And I'm not saying I know it all. That's like literally 0% of what I'm saying.
No,
I'm
but
just
like
saying
living your truth.
I started living my truth, but I still, like you, had this anxious background,
Mm-hmm.
had these control problems, these, I have to apologize for every little thing I did that I made up in my head that I
You
like,
still apologize
stirred.
too much.
I do.
You literally
But I'm
apologized that
working
there
on it.
wasn't a mirror in your powder room. And I was like, Sid,
I know.
you're literally, it's under construction. It's okay. You apologize way too much. You need to stop with that.
I know. I need to rein it in. Rein it in.
Rein it in, sister.
You know what I was going to ask you is,
What?
do you think like some of this like behavioral stuff is related to being a product of divorced parents? Because a lot of what you talk about, I've never heard anyone talk about. And I have parallels to like what you're talking about, of like things you feel, not allowing people to like be sorry for you or like worry about you or like, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. If you're worrying about me, it's annoying.
It's just uncomfortable.
Bothersome.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I would say completely.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think, that, I mean, I've talked about this with my parents and, I wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
I think that it makes us really big feelers. I have always had another sixth sense of like feeling energy, like when people are uncomfortable. And
same.
I think that's why I love to host, because I love to make everyone feel welcomed and loved and open door policy. But that is, I mean, you are from a diverse family. You know, you have trauma from that. And I'm healing things like that happened to, not to me, but a product of my parents divorcing. Like I'm working through those things. And so many people out there either are or should be, right? Like we're of a generation where a lot of our parents are divorced. And I was so lucky that my parents always fought for us and wanted us and loved us. And we never, ever felt not wanted.
Yeah.
And that spared us a lot, I think, because I know not everyone can say the same.
I know.
And that breaks my little heart. Like it breaks my heart. That could make me cry. But so there's a lot of things I was spared in that process, but definitely, you know, I do look at friends that had parents that were solid, quote unquote solid, right? You never know. Every family has their skeletons for sure. That's some of the best advice I ever got. But you know, solid. Yeah. My husband's parents are solid. Yeah. Like they joke about everything.
Jordan's parents are solid.
Weird. Yeah. Weird that we were attracted to that
I know,
too.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah, I know. And my parents individually are so solid, right? Like I don't look at them as weak, but I do know that the foundation I had when I was 7 years old was broken. And that does instill so much in a kid.
Yeah.
And into adulthood, especially if you don't know how to face it and if you don't know how to heal, you know?
I'm like welcoming a new healing journey, like just hearing you talk about this. I'm serious, because I never faced all that. I mean, I didn't think I needed to.
I didn't either.
Let alone like bring it back up. Like I literally hate going to a new therapist because they're like, tell me about what your life. And I'm like,
can't.
Okay. So this happened and then this happened and then this happened. They're like, oh my
Tell me
God.
more.
And I'm like, that's it. I don't want to really go in depth anymore.
Check,
you know what I mean?
no
Like
month.
that's what I got for you. Sayonara. Let's talk about what happened last week with this friend or something. Like, you know what I mean? And
Like
it's
we're not paying attention to what is like literally in our bodies.
No, I'm holding on to it. And
I know.
even when you think like a bad thought about it, I like shut it out. I suppress it. It's gone.
Immediately.
It's like, shoo, off with the wind it went. So it's just interesting to hear that. And I only bring that up and ask that question because of how many people in this society, in our society now, have divorced parents.
Definitely.
So I just wanted to like say that out loud, because it's like, yeah, maybe you are not currently trying to conceive or any of these pieces, but I mean, we're all a product of families
in our environment.
A lot of us, an environment, and a lot of us had not had an upbringing that was maybe stable or you know, secure. And I don't know what word you want to use, but it's happening all around us. So I just had to like make that connection.
Well, no,
too.
and we were part of no one around me and growing up, parents were getting divorced. Like no one. I mean, it was like my family was the one. And again, my parents are like the best parents ever.
Yeah.
And I think they made the right decision, but it didn't make what we went through not happen. You know, like what we went through is inevitable. And I think that that's like one of the hardest things as parents is to make that choice, because they know it will hurt the kids, right? That's why think once, think twice, think more than 3 times about who you're marrying.
Oh my goodness. I know. I think about that.
Yeah, I know. I remember like when I was engaged. And I mean, I've known Taylor was the one since I literally met him.
I know.
Like, truthfully. Saw him and said, I'm going to marry that guy. That
is the cutest shit I've ever heard in my whole life.
He was playing basketball. I had a different boyfriend. Like I was like, that is my guy. I don't
Stop.
Do you know why? Because of the way he played defense and the way he like ran into refs and was so respectful with the coaches and the other. Like if someone fell, he was he would sprint over to the other teammate and he would help them up. Like
Stop.
I was just like, that is a good guy.
Oh my God, that's
You
really
know, and like
fucking
Tommy
cute.
basketball, woo, but like roll Toms.
If you're not from
I'm
Minnesota
like,
or the US,
we're
it's-
D1 now.
Yeah, Ayo, let's go.
Ayo.
It's this smaller, what is it, Catholic school?
Yeah.
Catholic college, yeah.
Private Catholic college.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember
The fact that I have
don't even
to
remember what we were
explain
saying.
what that is.
I know. I'm like,
Well, even when I say
who's
like
he listening-
UMN and they're like, oh, Miami. I'm like, no,
No,
this is
you wish.
Minnesota. Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry about that. No, there's lots of goodness here, and if you're not listening from Minnesota, come take a little trip.
Come take a little look-see because
Come
you're
on the
going to like
boat.
what you look.
Come on the boat. We're not just cornfields.
No, we're not even close to that.
But you know what? I have like no interest in blowing this city up because
No.
I've heard like 3 people, and people that are not in Minnesota are going to laugh at this. Like 3 people
What?
in the last 3 years have been like, Minneapolis is going to be the next Denver. Like
don't tell me
everyone's
that.
moving here. They're going to expand the highways because of XYZ, great job opportunities, all this stuff. There's a lot of space. And I'm like, okay, no
Yeah, but
interest.
No
No
I don't
interest
want
in
to
that.
like make
Yeah.
it big. That's the whole point of why we live here. Is like
Exactly.
we've got our space. We're like
I'm like,
yeah,
I
we're
go
Minnesota
to LA
nice,
and
but
I go to Austin.
Same.
And
You and I were talking about
London.
that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
we were talking about how we like to go to those cities and like we see all this stuff,
Yeah.
but then also like why are we not like diving into our community here?
100%.
Because I think there's so much of, we talked about this before, so I'm just kind of repeating, but like we both are creators, and it's like you want to bring so much of like what LA has here, what New York has here, and then you realize, wait, but I'm not LA and I'm not New York.
Nope.
I'm actually Minnesota.
Yep.
And there's so much here.
Bold nor
So,
shit.
yep.
Bold nor shit.
Yeah.
And by the way, I mean, I meet people, we meet people, both of us,
Yeah.
right? You travel a lot for work. I used to, and I'm talking like global, you know, London, Sweden, all these places. I
can't even believe that.
Ireland, and it was amazing. And they adore Midwesterners.
Yeah.
They adore them.
Because we're good people.
And we like to make people feel good, and we're kind. You know, we were raised with a please and thank you and open the door for a stranger and wave to someone. Like, you go to California, that's literally foreign behavior.
No, I know. I've had people slam doors on me and stuff. Yeah. It's like wild.
And
yeah.
I'm like thrown off. I'm like, oh,
Or they
scooty
say
doogie
things and
boogie.
you're like, what the fuck? I know. Or I'm like, or this guy wouldn't scoot over.
Are you?
Let me sit down.
Someone didn't respond when I asked how the weather was.
They will ignore you at the cash register.
No, they literally
No, I literally,
They'll roll
I'm
their
like an
eyes.
over like sharer at the cash register. Like that's
yeah.
something about me, whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to change. I don't really give a shit. And I'll be like, oh my God, that croissant looks so good. I'm like, almond croissant. I'm like, I love almond croissants. I've had them every day. My grandma loved them. I'm telling this to the cashier.
Okay, I would be like,
She doesn't say anything, doesn't look at me.
Well, I think I would be like
This.
stop.
Ready? I'm like, oh,
It's time.
you know what?
Didn't you say
You just lost $1 off your tip.
Didn't you
Not
s-
your whole tip because I'm Minnesota, but you lost $1.
I'm crying. Didn't you say that Jordan said like, Sid, they don't care
Yes,
about that?
he said that. Okay, I don't give
Okay.
a fuck.
If you're
Because-
listening, Jordan.
I don't care. I just want to share.
That is cute. It's such an endearing thing.
Sorry,
It's so
get over it.
endearing.
People-
And by the way, like I said, the stuff in the Midwest, like things get lost in the translation. I swear
Yeah,
they do.
they do.
But the stuff that like really works finds its way to us,
Mm-hmm.
you know, maybe a couple months later, like trending audio or music or hats, whatever it might be.
Yep.
But I would not trade the community, the people I know, the lifestyle, like
Yeah.
the cabins, the sports, the slow pace,
Community.
like the community. Like, I mean, it is real. We have great hospitals. Like here we are pitching Minnesota.
I know we're like everyone. No, let's
I'm
not
like,
tell them.
yeah,
I'm like,
no,
wait, no. You know what? None of your business.
Yeah.
None of your business.
None of your business. You're
I'm
right.
like, stay over there.
You're right.
But I love you.
You're right. But I love you. And I'll get on a flight to see you soon.
Our freaking voices, I literally can't.
No, I can't. I mean, especially with the mic, I'm like, hello.
Hello, how are you?
And I can literally hear you. Oh, scoot to boogie. I'm literally like hot dash, or what is it? Crock pot for dinner. Like what we literally do all the time. It's so bad.
You want to know something so embarrassing? And then last tangent, I swear to God.
What?
Jordan and I went on a cute little datesy doot doot
Datesy
over to his golf course. I'm pointing over there because you actually have to drive that way.
Okay.
As if like that's gonna give it away. Like
It's
over
west. It's
there.
west.
Go
if you're
that
wondering.
way.
She's going west.
I'm going that way. So we went to have dinner there, and this is comedy. There was a hockey like reunion banquet happening in the like main area. They like put us in the side room and I sit down and this lady's like, oh, yep, the meatloaf is really good here, I heard. And so I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, oh, and
I'm getting
like,
the meatloaf.
I got the meatloaf. Yes. That is so,
By the way,
you
I
can't,
fucking love meatloaf.
I
There,
do
Grandma,
too.
I swear, I fucking love meatloaf,
It's
especially
so
early
good,
meatloaf.
but it's just comedy that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm like me 2 weeks before. I'm so New York. I'm so LA. I
Oh,
was
I
literally
know.
like living in LA.
Like, I
living
got
up
the
my
trends.
life. Ayo. And then me, little old me, sitting in a crick chair having meatloaf at this like way out towny, like in the middle of nowhere, beautiful though,
Yes.
place.
Yes.
Just with a bunch, like, I'm like, who do I think I am?
Don't we love the...
Who do I
What
think
are we?
I am?
What is it? The best of both worlds? Don't we
Yes.
love being Hannah Montana?
I love Hannah.
I love Hannah.
I love Hannah and I love Miley now. I'll
know,
tell you
me
that
too.
much. Okay, tell
wow.
me. Okay,
wow.
so tangent, but that's also so fun because
So
who
fun.
gives a F about what we talk about?
No, agreed.
I love
Agreed.
going on a little tangent.
Totally agree.
But tell what did you not cover about your journey that you wanted to bring it back with?
I think there's just one thing I want to say.
Okay.
And I'm just like looking and I had notes and we didn't cover any of it, but that's okay. I didn't think
Is
we
there
would.
anything we needed to?
No.
That you're like, I
we've
really want to
organically-
make sure?
No, we've organically covered things. I think one thing I definitely want to talk about though is that if you do the work in healing,
Yeah.
you're going to find a whole new life. And like a whole new, like
Oh my
literally.
God, beautiful. You can sing.
No,
okay,
stop.
confirmed.
Oh my God, stop. No.
Confirmed.
I'm talking about Aladdin. Especially Whitney Houston's version. Rest in peace. I love her.
Aww.
But if you do the work, like you're not going to heal without doing the work. And I have found so much peace and prosperity and joy in healing. And this is healing that, you know, I've shed millions of tears over and I've been uncomfortable to face. And it's been heartbreaking to heal this way. But it is liberating. And I feel things unstick, if you will, inside me. And I feel myself working out and I'm like, I like the way I'm feeling and I want to do more of this. And I have never felt that way in my entire life. And eating things like I'm craving broccoli. Like who craves broccoli?
Yeah,
Lala
you're
does
crazy.
now. I
What
know.
the F?
I guess I do now. But it's like little things, just little itty bitty things that you probably don't want to do are probably what you should do.
Yeah,
you know?
but then watch these little moments just unfold,
know.
these little tiny, tiny jewels within a regular week.
I know.
Like I told last night to Jordan, and I'm just relating to you of like, we went to the grocery store, went to Trader Joe's, came home. We talked about Trader Joe's. You and I did.
We did.
But I did love this beef and broccoli little wonderfulness that I made. And I was cooking and I like looked over at him and he was doing the dishes and like Deacon was jumping around being a little crazy our dog. And I just looked at him, I go, you know, nights like these really make me love just being at home and doing this.
Nothing, I know.
And like, this is my nothing and I love
And
it so
safe,
much.
you know,
and it's safe
safe.
and it's warm and it's,
Yep.
you can like sit there in these like little beautiful moments and like soak every little feeling in of like comfort and warmth. And there's water right there and there's food right here. And there's,
Yep.
I'm prepping my meal for tomorrow and it's early in the night. So I'm going to go to bed early.
Yep.
And I'm going to make my sleepy time mocktail. I already have the plan to do that. It's like,
Yep.
these little moments are just what life is all about.
It's like Taylor Swift would say, it's the sweet nothings.
Yeah.
Right. And it's so true. And there's, by the way, so much healing in that. And I think the number one thing that I realized too, that actually COVID gave me is it forced us to slow down. It forced us to. I mean, whether it's workouts, whether it's work, whether it's happy hours, birthday parties, whatever it might be, trips, everything was put to pause.
Yeah.
And I think if you are anywhere between the ages of now 24 to 31, you would probably agree with me when your social life was absolutely halted.
Yeah.
And I gained this very new appreciation for being slow.
Yeah.
And for not over planning everything. Like I feel like all my summers in my life have been back to back, back to back, back to back. And it's like, holy shit, I just want to enjoy like my cabin with not a plan in sight. And be outside and swim and be with the kids and let the dogs poop wherever they want to poop up north.
Who cares?
And I mean, I totally agree. The sweet nothings is the sweet nothings are
Well, whatever.
incredibly safe. And I think the more you can implement just slowing down, that's going to help you heal too. It really will. And there's one more thing I wanted to say about that.
I love that though.
I know. Isn't
As
it
you
true?
pull up
But isn't
whatever
it
you're looking
true?
for. I love that. I mean, I regret I don't regret because it's not about regret, But when I've left summer, or like when I've left like a time that I could have slowed down, but I chose the chaos, I regret that.
I know.
I do. And I mean, and had I not been forced to slow down and change my life in so many ways, and face also that I like was coming off the pill and things weren't normal in my body, and my psoriasis was flaring, and all these things where my body's like, freaking slow down.
Yep.
Like what the
telling
hell are
you, right?
doing?
Symptoms telling you.
I would have never slowed down, and I enjoy my life now. I never thought I would say that. I was so anxious. The way I explained it to Jordan was I felt like I was on a roller coaster every day, all day. That's how my stomach felt.
Oh my God.
That's the ups and the
tightening,
downs.
Sid.
Yeah, it was the worst. Living was unbearable. And I can't even believe I faked it for so long, but it was.
Yeah.
It was unbearable. And
I believe it.
And had I not changed so much about my life and like allowed myself to slow down, I wouldn't see this other side.
And I'm so glad you're there, because a lot of people are stuck. I was so effing stuck. Like, I can't tell you. I mean, my body cells are stuck.
Literally.
Like, it literally
seriously.
is stuck. And I know that this excruciating season and this excruciating journey, like pain, has brought me so much good. And it's finding a positive in a really big negative.
Yeah.
Pivot, right? Pivot.
I love that.
But it's finding, I mean, when I hit rock bottom like 4 months ago, and I was so unhappy.
I know.
And I have the best husband in the world. I have the very, very full life. I've got prosperous health for my family. Abner's doing great. You know, people are grieving, and it's beautiful. But I hit rock bottom because what I want more than anything, I can't have at the moment. Mm-hmm. And being a control freak, you know, you can't pay for it. You can't fix it overnight. The marketplace has absolutely capitalized on women who are quote unquote infertile and selling them herbs and devices. And I mean, it's so sick.
That's disturbing.
It's disturbing. I mean, it's so disturbing. And I have to say that on this podcast is that there is not a one fix. Like, there is not. And there might be if you're deficient in something, but I have spent thousands of dollars on an herb that's supposed to, you know, fluff up your ovaries, or the things that I know. Sleep. You need to sleep. And if you're not getting good sleep, you need to figure out why you're not getting good sleep.
Right.
Because if your body can recharge and restore really well overnight, there's a really good chance you're going to feel better the next day. And it's just a good domino effect. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not getting good, and water, like, these are things that help you heal. Mm-hmm. And I keep saying heal, but it really is like, I'm not the only one that's gone through traumatic stuff. By the way, so many people I know that have married parents have been through awful stuff and awful traumas. And it's all about our skeletons out, right? Like, how are we sharing our stories, and how are we learning from one another and being vulnerable with one another and growing, you know? So I would say, if you can, find a pivot. Yeah. And if you're really deep in trying to conceive, I am sending my love, and I am sending my prayers to you, and I am just a DM or a text away. And I would encourage breaks where you think they're needed. I would encourage downtime with your partner. Mm-hmm. I would encourage, like we said a million times, but look in the mirror. And there's a really good chance your body will probably tell you
what's going on.
Yeah.
That is so helpful for people that are trying to conceive, who are not trying to conceive, who are just moving through their day-to-day moving and grooving. Truly, though, hearing all that is like, it's music to my ears in a weird way.
I love
because
that.
It means we're moving in the right direction. Yeah. And that's a blessing.
As a society.
Yeah.
Right.
As a society, as a podcast, as a person, as a community of people listening, we're moving in the right direction, and there's a purpose. Yep. A purpose to life, a purpose to why we're doing things, a purpose to healing. I used to not, I mean, this is like just an example of like, I used to prioritize so many health things because that's how you got healthy. Oh my God.
Yeah. And it's trendy. It's trendy and influencers are posting about it.
No, it's like right now, what the fuck do I need to prioritize? Sleep.
I promise you it's sleep.
My sleep is off.
I promise
but it's in my control. I get anxious and I go on my phone. Yep. And then I stay on my phone, and then I like don't want to go to sleep.
Then your brain doesn't shut off during during when you're not hitting REM. Like,
yep. And then what do you know? When I look at my Oura Ring tracker, what does it say? No REM.
No REM.
What do you know?
What's your score? Like 68, 72. My score as of late is like a solid 97.
No, it's not.
Swear to God.
How?
But it's because I'm
How?
prioritizing. Sid, my ass is in
Dude,
bed at
you-
7:30 p.m. every single night. My hatch goes off at 7.
You're
I
kidding me.
unwind and I get ready. No, because
That's
this is
amazing.
You guys, I'm grandma mode, but this is what's helping me heal. And I'm waking up 65.
That was 2 nights ago,
could be
Saturday
better.
night. No, I know, but this
was mine?
last night was 77. The night before was 85.
Okay, those are
So
good.
I mean,
yeah,
it's not. But what do you know? REM sleep,
yeah, it's not
REM sleep, REM sleep. My REM is just poop.
really.
My REM is so bad.
Oh, your girl is getting like 4 hours a night of REM over here.
You're
like,
joking me.
I'm not joking.
I'm so jealous.
Heal,
I need to
Sid.
prioritize
Heal.
it.
Look in the
mirror. I wanted to say it so bad. I'm like, look in the fucking mirror,
Literally,
bitch.
look in the mirror and like
Look in the mirror.
No, I literally connect with you. But I want to end this here because I know there's a couple things you want to talk about too.
Oh, yeah, but
I would never, ever, 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 the things that fill me up right now, I would never have them without this journey, ever. So I'm going to take that as a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to take that as a win. And again, like and like something very little. So my chiropractor, all these things, she's reading my levels and she's like, oh my gosh, your progesterone is like normal. And she was just saying it just to like say it. And I was like, what do you mean it's normal? Because I literally 6 months ago made 0 progesterone. 0. I mean, my holistic doctors were like, we've literally never seen like anything like this. Like the hormone specialists, they were like, usually people are like 2 to 5, like all this stuff. Like you're supposed to be at like 40 to, oh,
something just fell over. Sorry, everyone. Something
It's
just fell
probably
over. I was
Scotty.
like, Scotty for sure just did something. Okay.
but your level's supposed to be like 40 to 60 or something, like 0. And when she told me that, I was like, you don't know how big of a deal that is to me. And I'm taking that as a big win this month. I mean, like that is a big win.
That's
taking
wild,
small, I know,
though.
but like taking small things and being like,
And look at that.
Look at that. That's what 10 hours of sleep does.
Sleep, spirituality, literally water.
Yeah.
Like, focusing in
Yeah.
on what's right, removing stressors.
Well, and if you can get your blood drawn or figure out what you're deficient in, like I'm telling you right now, if you're buying supplements because influencers are posting them, if you're doing XYZ, like you got to check yourself and you got to
my
stop.
God.
Like it's a huge problem.
No, I know. I like take vitamin 3 with K2 because I'm vitamin D deficient.
Which is
Most
good, though.
people are in Minnesota.
And they're safe
But I used to
ones.
buy like
Yeah. The brands and
random shit.
I know.
Like, what am I doing?
oh my God, our vitamin cupboard, I use I have all new stuff, but I mean, I have like hundreds of supplements in there that I just like won't touch because I'm like, I bought this because of, I have like the de-bloat thing from Revolve.
Oh my God, no.
That I was like overdosing on in Miami trying to
No,
de-bloat.
stop. Stop. Stop.
Oh, I have everything. I mean, it's so easy to swipe up.
Yeah, I
on a
know. Why
vitamin.
wouldn't
It's
you?
like,
'Cause you're
oh,
like,
she
yeah,
looks
let's buy
not
it.
deep. She doesn't look bloated. Maybe I won't look bloated. You know?
It's like, God, you fuckers. Last thing I was
the
going to say
problem.
about products was I just got the Yucca app.
Oh,
Because I'm like
I
trying
don't
to
have it, but I
clean
need
stuff
to get
out
it.
in my like body and like
Yes.
in my like, because my psoriasis clearly is like telling me something.
Right. But you did have a big event and stuff.
Yeah, I did. And I feel so much better. My skin's already getting
Yeah.
better. My forehead's about to be like clear as fuck. So
Yeah,
that's
I
great.
barely see
Yeah,
anything.
literally it's going away because I was so
Wow.
stressed.
Well, you
Yeah.
were so stressed.
Yep.
Yeah. You got a wedding. We got a plan for.
I know.
But by
we
the
got
way,
time.
by the way, if you have a flare up on your wedding day,
Yeah.
it will not matter.
Yeah,
Just saying.
I know. No one's gonna care.
No
or
one's
see
gonna
it
care.
at all.
Jordan won't care.
No, he's not gonna see it anyway. No one looks at your zits. Like
No
I
one
don't know
look
what.
at- no one looks at your zits.
your zits.
No
dude.
one.
I will say
Except
to the
you.
world, no one looks at your zits.
No one does. Or your psoriasis.
No. No
No
one
one.
cares.
No
No one
one.
cares.
No.
I've never been like, oh my God, look at that zit. Never in my
I have
life.
never in my life said that, except if it's to my husband. I'm like, I'm popping that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get you, and
Yeah,
I got you,
I'm gonna
and
get
I'm
you
like,
in your
God, that
sleep.
felt good. But I got this Yucca app, whatever. I scan organic tampons because I'm like, oh my God, nice organic tampons.
Huge one. Not organic.
23 out of 100.
No.
They're all fucked.
Oh my God.
All
what are you
these
gonna do? The Dixie
tampons?
cup or whatever?
I
Not
do.
Dixie cup. Oh my God.
No, Diva cup.
Diva.
But gross. No, I can't. I'm so afraid of blood. I would puke.
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
if you're afraid of blood, that would be tough.
I'm like, that's
Well, what are you
messed
gonna do?
up.
You
I
need
know,
to
but
tell them. I don't know what to do.
capitalizing on the shit. I'm so sick of it.
I know.
But it wouldn't tell me. I didn't pay for the app because so it wouldn't tell me.
You gotta pay for that
No,
shit.
I know I need to, but it literally says pour. Oh, recommendations. pH cleanser. It's like, it thinks it's here, down there wipes. Wait, it's giving me all cleaning products.
Down
That's
there
not-
wipes? You're just supposed to let it go?
No, down there. I don't do any of this, but it's pH balancing like cleanser, which
Okay.
is all good stuff. But it's telling me that these tampons are not like good for you. Anyway, either way, look into your shit, because that's also something like hormone imbalances. It's
Huge.
happening around you and the products you're putting in your body. And I know everyone's like, oh my God, you're going to turn into granola woman. And I'm like, yeah, I might.
Yeah,
because
but
guess
maybe
what?
they're
My
onto
body
something.
is telling me something, and so are those granola people. So
maybe they're
peace
onto
and
something.
blessings.
Yeah, peace and blessings. And like,
Sick of
seriously, I feel like they're looking that way. They're feeling that way for good reason. We talked about, everything.
Oh my God. It was good though. It's like, it's your journey. It's your story. It's so, people love to hear all those things. So I'm like, I really appreciate you sharing all that.
Stop. I'm so glad to be here.
Truly, because everybody, we need to hear stories like this. We need to be
Well, there's
real
many
about
of them
it.
out there.
I know, but we need to be real. And
I know.
and I'm not saying that anybody needs to talk about it or come on a pod and talk about their life and their story. It's not, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying we need to talk about the real shit, the hard stuff.
Absolutely.
So that we can also show up for our friends a lot better too. And
I think
show up for ourselves a lot better.
For ourselves first.
Yeah.
But then our friends and our family. And I think it just makes us who we are.
Yep.
And my God, I don't want anybody to struggle alone.
I know.
Seriously. I mean, no matter what it is, I don't want them to struggle alone. So I totally agree. Opening the floor up, trying to find a good and a negative, being resilient. I know that's like, I don't know if I said that, but the resilience it's not like anything I've ever, nothing has been this tiresome. Nothing has been this hard.
Yeah.
But what is the word? What is the phrase?
What?
Like with the work comes the reward.
Oh, well, yeah.
Or the dawn is always darker. What is the
Batman
Batman quote?
I don't know.
The dawn is always, it's always the darkest before the dawn.
Yeah.
Harvey Dent.
Harvey, you
out there, boy.
Thanks, boy.
Thanks, boy.
Well, thank you for being real. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you
I'm
for
like
having
so
me.
glad we can do this.
I know.
And we've got some advice pieces that we got to help people with.
Yes,
before
100%. 100%.
Okay, so of course I always offer call Sid, you guys. It's 612-470-7569. I hope I said that number right, because now I'm like, wait, I really thought that. I'm like, wait, it's in my bio, so you know what? It's always there. It's always there for y'all.
It's the expired Palomas.
I know, it's the expired Paloma. That vinegar water is like getting me. Okay, so I have 2 writing questions, and then I have a call Sid actual call in. Okay, so I'm going to do all 3. This one says, I am in a place in my life where me and all my friends are getting married and settling down, all living in different towns outside of the Twin Cities. It is such a struggle now to see friends and spend quality time with them. Usually when we are together now, it's as a huge group. I miss the quality one-on-one time with my best friends, and I barely get that because we're all so busy. How can those settling down get used to this new norm and make friends more of a priority? And then I just wrote down kind of like how it's different phases of life as you like how important real friends are and low maintenance friends are. That's what I noted when I read this, because I was like, oh my God, that's what it immediately makes me think about.
I think, first of all, I totally agree. And you said the low maintenance friend thing a while ago, and has stuck with me through so many things. Like, I want to be a low maintenance friend to someone, meaning it doesn't take a lot of effort or energy if you can't give it to be my friend. In that scenario, I would say that it's seasons of life. And I hate that, because I had someone say that to me with a friend that I used to be really, really close to. And they were like, seasons of life. And I was like, no, there's not a season where I don't want to be best friends with her.
Yeah.
You know, but real friends, real connections, it's not seasonal. Who you might be around and who you might be attracted to, and your wavelengths are dissimilar and whatever it might be. I mean, have you ever seen 2 people go through a breakup become best friends faster? Like, that is like a very good example. Or 2 friends engage at the same time, or in my case, friends that are pregnant at the same time. Just because they're going through that together, you don't need to feel left out.
Yeah.
And you're going to have that with other people in some capacity. And if they're real friends, if they're real people that will show up for you, they still will.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they're close to other people that are going through something similar to them. And I would just suggest to this, is it a girl?
Yeah, I think so.
I would suggest to this girl, like, if you can put an effort in a scenario where you're having like a very chill one-on-one situation, or if this person really matters to you, or if a friend really matters to you, put an effort to have like valuable time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've been to a million happy hours with my friends. They're all the same. But if you're sitting down with a friend one-on-one at dinner, and they're like, I just miss you and I want to catch up with you, that is so powerful.
That means so much.
So, I mean, that is my best love language. And that speaks, no matter pregnancy, no matter divorce, no matter death, no matter what it might be, that goes beyond any season you're in.
Yeah.
You know?
It feels good.
It feels so good.
To hear that. Can you imagine if someone said that to you?
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, like I can't wait to spend time with you. I also like, geez, I might have needed to be knocked into my senses a little bit of like, I was so busy hustling this way or like slowing down.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize I was maybe neglecting the relationship. Maybe I was just like busy in something else in a season of life. Right.
Yep. Well, it's so easy to get lost too. Like even just in my scenario with friends, I mean, I'll just relate to her, like friends getting pregnant. I know a lot of people feel that way with friends getting engaged and they're single. It's very similar. It's not less than, because it's not.
Yeah.
But you do feel on the outskirts, and that's a hard thing, but it does not mean you're being left out. It does not mean you're being left out. And I think a lot of that time you're in your own way. Yeah. Like you're insecure about something that you haven't addressed, or maybe you need to work through, or just talk to them about, you know? If you said like, hey, you know, I'm feeling sad, like I'm not engaged and all my friends, you know, all of you guys are getting engaged and it's hard to relate and all that stuff. Yeah. I would imagine if she's a good friend, she'd be like, oh my God, like I had no idea you were feeling that way. You know,
your truest friends you can be so real with.
Who said it? Like people are not thinking about you.
No, I said that the other day. I'm like, no one's thinking about you as much as you're thinking about you. I'm sorry.
They're not. So if you're sitting there like, I'm feeling left out, they're not thinking, oh, she's not engaged, she's feeling left out.
No. Oh my God, no. They're busy thinking about themselves. 100%. Everybody's busy thinking about themselves.
And
that's what you do.
That is really true. Because I'm not thinking about other people.
No, I'm busy.
I'm busy bustling
over here.
I'm turd. I'm in bed at 7:30. Like if I need to be thinking about you, I hope you tell me. Let me know if I got to pray for you. You know.
I mean, like seriously, you got to let me know.
You got to let me know something's wrong.
Other stuff going on, and I don't mean that in a
low maintenance friendships though, right? It's like saying like, hey, like let's grab dinner, let's grab coffee. Like it's saying I miss you. Mm-hmm. Let's catch up.
As simple as that.
It's as simple as that, and get out of your own way. Because if you're like, she needs to text me first or anything, like get rid of that.
Stop with the games. Also, like I have friends that I'm so darn close with, and some of them are just not good at texting, including myself.
Now me, 100%.
Like, so why get mad at them for that when nothing changes in a relationship? Nothing. And they still are not a good texter. I'm still not a good texter. That's not going to change.
Doesn't mean you're a bad friend.
I have gotten over the fact that people are going to get mad about that, because guess what? Too fucking bad.
It's who you are.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care that you're mad at me for that. I can catch up when I've got the capacity to.
But if someone was like, oh my God, my car broke down, I need help, you'd be the first person.
There right in 100%. A second.
But if it's this long story about the boss or whatever it might be, like you can't engage. Like
sometimes I don't have capacity.
I know, and I get that too. Like, I mean, especially with my job now being like in Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff, it's like I literally do not have the capacity to read my group message anymore.
Yeah, I know.
And like when I'm off, like I need to put my phone away. Like I'm not sitting there like reading it and not responding. I'm sitting there like checking in, making sure no one died, and being like, okay,
same. That's
time
to
cook dinner. You know.
Yep.
So don't. Get out of your own way. You're probably in your head over the situation.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think lead with your heart.
Lead with your heart is a great way to put it. I love that. I love that advice too. That was beautiful advice. This one's more about like letting yourself relax. That's very, very healing, because this was like 2 write-ins. I like put that there. And then this is a second person that wrote in. How do you allow yourself to unwind guilt-free? I seem to fill my days with task after task. I'm happy to be productive, but realize it isn't healthy to constantly be occupied. Looking for tactics to let myself off the hook and not feel like I'm any less for doing that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's loaded. I mean, I think you can probably relate to this because you have like 3 jobs. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of the times when we keep ourselves busy, we have a hard time. I don't want to be so bold, but
you can.
Is it that we have a hard time facing what's going on in the off time? Like if you can't sit down and be alone in your thoughts, like I know people that can't be alone in the car, and I know I have friends that are like, I can't listen to my own thoughts. Like I need to have a podcast on, like loud music. And I'm like, you should probably listen to what's going on in your head. Like
you're reflecting, your brain wants to reflect.
Exactly. And I think that that's really important. And I think that that can be translated to this scenario where doing things feels good. Yeah. It feels really good to be productive. Mm-hmm. But you know what else feels good? Napping. Yeah. And you know what else feels good? A really good movie. Yeah. And cleaning slowly on Saturday. Like not just getting the dishes done every day, but just like
hocus, like commotion, like literally like, whoa, over here, over there. Like
and
you gotta
stress.
breathe.
Like you drop a cup and you're like, oh, my day is so bad.
Yeah.
Like
you hit your shin, because that's what I did. Bitch. That fucking dishwasher. I'm sick of it.
By the way, that hurts so bad.
I know. I have a bruise, full on bruise.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
But I think that if you're trying to keep...
Sorry.
Had to throw it in there. Had to.
I couldn't not. I'm so sorry, everyone.
It's like the thing. By the way, I can't look at purple without thinking about it now. So...
And add a little snap to it, if you will.
If you will. It sounds to me like you're either addicted to the high of feeling accomplishing, like you're accomplishing things, or you're deflecting on what you're afraid is going to go on in your mind when you do have downtime.
I think it's a little bit of both. I can relate on both fronts. I think when I grew up and understanding how you grew up, like accomplishments were how I was recognized by my parents, right?
Well, and
so
in
like,
sports, right?
Yeah, sports, the biggest part of it. Like, you know, school, like academics, whatever. Like that's how you're accomplished. So your to-do list leads up to this thing, like accomplished. Look at how put together my life is, whatever. It continues and it's a problem.
And it's addicting.
It's addicting. It's addicting really, really bad. I've gotten to a point in my life where I don't have capacity to let that linger in my mind.
Yeah.
I moved that to-do list to a notes. Okay, great. Now that notes thing is lingering in my mind. It's still there. It's this fucking huge list of things I don't really actually need to get done. They're kind of
bothering you.
Bothering me.
Yeah.
And what I realize is your brain is powerful enough to know what it needs to get done.
Especially if it's important.
Yeah.
And
so it's healing the know,
fact
that I deleted my list. Deleted it. Gone.
No way.
Yes, gone.
Good for you.
It's gone.
My to-do list is gone too.
Yeah.
I mean,
There
I
should
have like 2 things and it's work and it's like fertility stuff, but it's not like drop off, whatever. It's not grocery shop. I mean, it's like to me, again, heal mode.
Yep.
Also addicting if you get into it.
I know.
Like the more you feel better, the more addicted you are to it. And I feel like that is literally exactly what she's saying. Like I feel good when I get stuff done, so I don't want to stop.
Yep.
And with your list, like throwing it out the door, holy freedom, Sid.
Oh my God, I'm free.
Yeah.
I'm free. It's crazy.
And you're not missing pod episodes. You're not missing work. You're not like what runs your world, right? Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Now Deacon,
my little girl. Fuzzy.
and your cats.
Yep.
Your job. Your family. What part of that needs a to-do list?
None of it.
And by the way, some people do need to-do lists and love it and thrive.
Work. Yeah, I've got like random to-do lists on my like computer, but they all live in one spot, and they're not like the ones that are dire. I get done that day. The ones that are not are like, okay, I think I should probably prioritize these at some point.
Right.
But it's just learning how like your to-do list doesn't actually make you feel further like in your life. Like it's not going to get you across further. What?
Are you like me? Like I do well under pressure. So by nature, I am a procrastinator.
Very much so, yeah.
So we do not like to-do lists.
No, I don't at all.
Because everything is up to the last hour and I'm like,
oh my God, I have to, my brain, that's why I don't sleep because I used to do stuff at night.
Well, and then you're like seeing on your phone, like mine literally is right there and it's like to do, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm literally trying to sleep.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly how exactly.
But if you are maybe not like us and you wake up and you're like, oh, I could do this thing today and you feel good about it, like I'm not shitting on you. Like that's amazing.
You've got it going
on,
sister. You've got it
Sid
going
and I got to get into that in that pond.
The only other thing I'll say to this person is the voice that's telling you not to slow down is the one that's telling you not to heal. It's the voice that's telling you that there's something wrong. There's clearly things you haven't processed.
Yep. The guilt thing. You didn't even mention that.
Yeah. You're maybe hurting about something. Yeah. You're maybe avoiding something you're not proud of, or maybe like you're really not liking your job. There's a lot of things that could make this happen.
Totally.
It's avoidant style of like living. And once I stopped avoiding the inevitable and faced it head on, it's kind of like your credit card. When you like don't look at it, you just are like shuffle.
So
not going to click my credit card. It's kind of like the same concept.
I know it all too well.
Hey, just working on it right now. That's honest. And I got a wedding I got to save for. I got to get shit done, sister.
That is so true.
It's your avoidance. So
like when you face your bill and you're just like, just fucking face it and fucking pay it.
I'm like, you look a little
you look
bitch.
really
Did I really
scary.
need that Aritzia outfit? You ass crack. No, I didn't. Not right now. I didn't. I could have waited.
No, but we got to talk about the guilt thing because that's something deep. And
No.
I mean, if you're having guilt for feeling like you're not productive,
It's bad.
I challenge you to think that you should have guilt that you're not taking time to just relax.
Yeah.
I challenge you to think about how good it feels if you don't feel good relaxing yet, why?
Yeah. Why?
Because, and I'm not talking about relaxing all day. Like I get like not a lot of relaxed time these days. But so when I have it, I am relaxed. Like, I am
now I'm learning how to love it.
Yeah,
but
I know,
it's
me
hard
too.
as like an ADHD, like hyperactive, anxiety,
completely
anxious
creative.
person.
Oh,
It's crazy. You feel like if I'm not creating, I'm not moving the needle. I'm not doing something with my life.
Oh my
like
God.
Yesterday, I battled myself. I woke up late and like battled like this like inner monologue of like do
Guilt
something,
and
do
stuff?
something, do something. It's like I got up late. I went downstairs. I made myself a breakfast slow as fuck. I used to get so mad at myself when I took that time. Then I just like talked to my mom on the phone. Then I drove into the lobby, coffee.
Yep, the best.
Got a coffee, drank some of it there, setting up at the bar.
How dare you?
Then I
waste
came
that
home.
time.
I know, I'm horrible. Then I came home, sat on the couch, watched a few episodes of reality TV.
Wow.
Laid there.
Are we in heaven?
I'm like, do you know how amazing I felt?
Oh,
do you know how
Sid,
amazing I
it
felt
is
going
so
into the week?
important.
What the fuck?
So now
is that?
in this healing world that I'm in, I schedule, there's 4 workouts that I do in a week and they're all early.
Yeah.
My Wednesday morning is slow. And I don't, I
love
check
that.
my email and everything and all the stuff, everything's scheduled before, but any big inquiries, like, I'm sorry, it's not in my life to not wake up and check my phone at the moment. Like, it's not as a small business owner.
Yeah.
It's unrealistic. But my Wednesday mornings are slow. And I'm talking not wake up late, but I still wake up at the same time. Yep. But I lay with my dogs. I turn on my fireplace since it's snowed 15 inches.
Yep.
I listen to my worship music. I make a really slow breakfast.
Yep.
I check Pinterest. I call my dad and my mom. And then it's hit it at the gym. And I start my day at 10:30.
Yeah.
And that is like my treat.
Yeah, but you're allowed that.
100%. And you're
that
allowed,
crazy, though,
and
to
you're
learn
allowed,
that?
And that's what I'm saying about the guilt thing is, again, I challenge this woman and I know it's a woman.
Yeah, it is.
And she's probably a mom.
Mm-hmm. Probably. I can't tell, but probably.
Or not. Honestly, she's probably like, has a lot of million shit thing, like a list of things to do.
Yeah.
And she's feeling bad about not doing it. Why is your list so full? What are the other people in your life doing that? This list should be this full.
So there's got to be some balance going on here, like
Right?
imbalance situation. Like someone's got to balance you out. I don't know. Something just doesn't seem.
Yeah. You should, first of all, say no more.
Yeah.
Protect your peace and time, your boundaries. I encourage you to challenge yourself to think about you are being selfish by not giving yourself time to unwind and relax. Yeah. Unwind is a big word for me now. Like anybody that follows me on Instagram, I'm like, unwind time.
Yeah, but that's so healthy.
It's so healthy. Why do we think that we can just get into bed and go to sleep? That is,
I
our
used to
brains
think
have to
that.
shut up. And especially if you're on TikTok, you're refreshing every 2 seconds a new thing that your brain is holding on to. And your brain still thinks about it when you're trying to go to sleep.
Yeah, of
It's
course
like,
it does.
Oh my God. It's
Ever
like
had a wacky dream?
Yeah, exactly. It's probably from TikTok.
Yeah, I'm like literally something that happened on TikTok is in my dream, and then Jordan's there, and I'm like, "What's going on? What? I'm not following
What is this multiverse?
situation." You're like, "What do you mean?"
And then you wake up all discombobulated.
Oh yeah,
You know?
and I'm like confused about my reality, and then you're like, "What the fuck is this?" So
Okay, so
take a
back
breath.
to this woman. Give yourself some grace.
yeah, please
And if you're having guilt about not giving yourself time, first of all, just erase the guilt.
erase the guilt.
Try and just do your
Why
to-do
not?
list without the guilt
Yeah,
of not relaxing, and then see if you can get into like 1 hour of relaxing time
yeah.
without your lists, you know?
Please do it for
Please.
me. I'm learning the same
For
way.
Sid.
I'm like barely in front of you on this little journey.
Take a chapter from
delete the
Lala's
to-do
book.
list. Delete
She's a
it.
relaxing queen these
She
days.
is, and I'm like coming right behind you, honey. I'm like literally like chugging along right behind you.
It is. I swear to God, you will not heal. Here we are with healing. You will not heal unless you have downtime to feel what you're feeling.
Absolutely.
And face the thoughts, face how your stomach feels. Like, you gotta relax. We are not meant to be wired, wired toys. What are they called?
Yeah, like a little wind
up toys. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I send love is all I will say.
Sending love to you and your healing journey. Okay, we're gonna wrap this with a call, Sid. We've got a call in.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna play this and we're gonna see what this girl needs. I know it's not related to the topic, but I think it's gonna be good.
Hi, Sid. I hope this is Sid. So I need advice. So I met this guy through a mutual friend like a week ago. And he asked my friend if I was single because he thought I was cute. So he got my number. And then we started texting like consistently for 4 or 5 days. And then like he would even text me good night, good morning, all this stuff. We really connected, I think. And then it's like 5 days into texting, out of nowhere, he stops responding and doesn't text me for 2 days. So I told my friend about it, and she had texted him and said, hey, you ghosted my name. And he ended up texting me a few hours after he sent that text, I guess, and he said, sorry, I just got really busy Friday and today. Hope you don't think I'm being mean. So my thought process here was that if he really liked me, he would have taken the time out of his day to tell me, hey, I'm going to be busy the next 2 days. And if you really like someone, you're just going to be super excited to talk to them. So if he wasn't super excited to talk to me for those 2 days, do I I guess my question is, do I give him another shot and just say whatever and move on, or do I not give him another shot because I think that I maybe deserve better, or that I know that I want someone who's super excited to talk to me, because I know I would let him know if I was busy.
Queen
Okay,
status.
thanks. Bye. Love the podcast.
Oh, okay. That is the sweetest thing ever.
I love everyone.
Why
that
am I gonna
calls in.
cry?
I love every person that calls in.
I'm calling in next week.
Literally love, live, laugh, love every person that calls in. Like, love you. I listen to those immediately upon when they come in. I just hope you know that. Like, if you're calling in, that matters to me. So,
Well,
like,
yeah,
call
that's like
in.
a real
Could be
person in
about
their
anything.
car, a woman,
Yes.
wanting help. I'm like, girl, where you at?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, where are you cruising to? Toot,
Yeah,
toot?
let's
Where
go
are you
get a
going?
glass of wine. Oh, trying to drink
Mocktail.
mocked
Mocktail.
vinegar.
Vegan ice cream because I can't have dairy here. Okay, you know what? First initial thought
You
of
go
what I
first.
thought.
Oh my gosh, what are you gonna say? Because I think we're gonna say the same thing.
Well, no, I had like another thought too, but I'm going to say this one first because now I'm switcherooing. Why are you in the text still? Like, let's get it to real life already.
That's a
like,
good point.
This is like, okay, yeah, mundane, 5 days. That's pretty fast though, to like fall into something with
Yep.
someone you've never hung out with.
Yep.
You're just getting to know each other. It's very cash, but you need to get a date on the books, like stat.
I agree.
Because like, what are we doing over this texting thing?
It
like,
does
you don't
nothing.
you're wasting conversation learning about somebody
That way.
via screen.
That
via
way.
screen.
Oh my gosh, like the first couple. I totally agree with you.
So like, I don't know. That's my initial thought. Now I'm
Yep.
going to let you go because
I think what we were saying earlier about being a bad texter, I give this man a little grace just with the benefit of the doubt of like, what if he was like in a scenario of like hunting or something? Or what if he's like he put in a lot of effort the last 4 days and was like, man, I hate texting, but I really want to text this girl.
Yeah.
And then he was busy for 2 days. And I totally agree with her when she says like, I was probably worth saying like, hey, I'm going to be busy.
Yeah.
But also like 5 days in, it's kind of like so soon.
very fresh.
I mean, some girls would get the ick by that.
Yeah.
No question. Like, I know girls that would be like, why did he say that? Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't judge the whole situation yet
No.
based on him not texting you for 2 days. I love that he even approached you. I feel like if he was done, he would have been like, yeah, I ghosted her. You know?
No, that's kind of what I was thinking too. He clearly is like, he's very interested
Yeah.
still. And he wasn't trying to make a bad impression once he heard that she thought he was ghosting her. So
Yeah.
he's trying to like kind of, okay, like, I didn't want you to think that. I'm sorry.
No.
Like, he's apologizing.
Which is great.
And honestly,
That's a
someone
big step.
someone who doesn't give a fuck enough to ghost would probably
Would
not
not
give a fuck
apologize.
enough to say sorry. I'm sorry. That's just how it goes. Like,
I would agree with that.
Like-
and I think that would be a harsh judgment off of not texting over 2 days, like
Yeah.
5 days in. I mean, if we're talking like months in and he ghosts you for 2 weeks, like that's a very different story. But
Yeah.
there is a scenario where he maybe was busy for 2 days. Like, what if there was an emergency, or what if he had a bachelor party, or
Yeah.
what, like, and what if he
Whatever
just
it
hates
was.
texting?
which is also
Like you and I
very
do.
fair.
Like you and
because
I do.
I get it. But get out of the text.
I totally agree.
If this is okay, so you're 5 days in now, what, 7? Because he like ghosted you for 2. Now you're like another day out. You've been talking for about a week
Yeah.
via text.
Yeah.
No face-to-face interaction. I'm sorry, but you could like anybody over text or dislike anybody over text.
Totally true.
You've got to get to know them. If I would have just texted Jordan for a week, I would have said, sayonara. This will never, ever, ever work out. I'm so effing bored because he's boring. He's boring to
Over
text, but
text?
guess
Yeah.
what?
What?
Good.
Yeah. Same. Love
Glad that you don't like to lovey-dovey over
Totally
text
agree.
messages. I would be like, get
Do it
the
in
hell away
person,
from me.
please.
You know what I would do if I were you? Because you clearly know your shit. She was like,
Yeah, I
I wanted
love
to
that.
snap for her.
Queen energy. Yep.
Popping that hip. I don't know where you are, but pop that hip out, queen. Initiate.
Yeah.
Ask, like, let's just get together. Let's go grab a drink. Let's go grab a coffee. Let's go on a
Mm-hmm.
walk. Maybe let's remove this from the DMs / text. Maybe let's get a little app. I love an app.
I love an
Pete.
app.
I love an app.
Love an
Love a
app.
happy hour. Save a few bucks. So get out of the text. It's either way. No, bad juju. Because
And by the way,
it's
then
going to
you'll
keep
know.
getting weird.
If you
and funky.
if you get out of the text and that first time you meet, you will know then.
And don't idealize,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Which a
a person via text message. You
Oh
don't
my
know
gosh.
them.
You do that so much. I mean, you look at like shows like Euphoria, and like I grew up being like, oh my gosh, he texted me, or like aimed me, or whatever, AOL, and it's like, who are
you're
you
like,
in
what?
person? You know,
Who are you?
I know, it's so true.
He's still trying to win you over too. That's what I want you to remember. He's still
Totally.
trying to win you over as well.
Totally.
You're not trying to win him over and waiting there being like, oh my God,
He didn't
I hope
text me, right?
Hope he texts me. Like she knows this. I can tell just by how she was
Same.
talking about it. She's like good energy, good
And by the
vibes.
way, I commend her for having this stance this early on. Like, I think more women should. I mean, we're like, oh, let him do what he wants so many times, like in the scenario. And women like are so used to being walked all over.
Yeah.
So I love your energy of saying like, do I give him another chance? Like, I commend that.
I do
time.
too, because I would have hid that from all my friends. I would have been
100%.
like, no, he didn't ghost
I've been
me
like,
for
he's
2
a
days.
good guy.
So good to me. So good to me. No, he didn't. No, he did not ghost me.
But even like
oh
if
my
Taylor
God, you
ghosted me
guys.
today, I am the worst texter though. Like now,
Well,
and
same
even
with
if
Jordan.
Taylor ghosted me, I would be like, oh, break from my phone.
No, seriously. And Jordan will not text me all day, and then I'll just get so yeah. That's what he says.
No
so
way.
yeah.
Remember,
'Cause
I
we
to-
do- we
remember
do
I
that.
told you Taylor is a huge texter.
Wait,
like,
nuh-uh.
oh, he's just like, what's for dinner? Like, we're in the same house, and he's
Oh my
like,
God.
how is your call? And I'm literally like, I'll tell you at the kitchen when I
Babe,
see
love you, but
like,
no.
it literally is like a contention point in our marriage because I am just like, "Ugh," another notification that I have to respond to, and he's
I
like, why do you
know.
never respond to me?
Oh, sweetie.
No, he's lazy. Get up and come find me in my
over here.
office.
Come over here.
I'm
Come
good.
talk to me.
You know, you want to hear what it was? Like, prove it to me and walk up the stairs. God. Oh my God. I hope he's not listening. But it is
my
the
God, I
God's
love you
honest.
guys.
Well, it is the God's honest truth. I remember how I told you he was going to
Yeah.
text me for dinner. He actually said, "Do you want me to get dinner?" Which is sweet.
Oh, that's sweet.
But I
Okay, we love him
told
now.
Sid that I told Taylor I'm going to be on this pod and for days. And
Yeah.
he's like, "I'm leaving." He's like, "Where are you going?"
Oh, that's so Jordan does that all the time.
Oh,
my God.
oh my God.
I'm like-
and I go, and he goes, "Oh, what's for dinner?" Oh my
Oh,
God.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I'm busy.
Godspeed.
Guess what?
Godspeed.
Jordan
So now
go-
he
wanna know?
what?
Jordan goes, what time do you teach on Tuesday?
Why?
I don't teach Tuesdays. I haven't taught for Tuesdays in a year. I go, what?
Are you paying attention, sir?
He goes, oh yeah. Oh, sorry. You teach Wednesdays at 7. And I go, and he goes, and what? I go, I teach Wednesdays at 6 and 7. You fucking I'm like, I'm gonna smack my head on this countertop.
you want me to text you?
I'm like,
Oh, there's nothing to talk about.
I'm gonna hyperventilate.
So anyway, take those 2 days as a blessing.
We're like, and let me tell you about what I struggle with. No, I'm just kidding. We appreciate you. Every single write-in, every single call-in is like a blessing to me. I'm
is,
serious.
wow.
I love every single second of it. Most of what this podcast is going to turn into is amazing, strong, beautiful women conversations like this one that we're having right now. Access to information, that's a part of it, and like real life shit. And then advice from my people to you, from me to you. That's like what I want this to be because it comes so organically, and I love giving advice. I love it more than anything. It's my core.
Well, you're Sid. You're so
God.
good at it.
Oh,
You're
thank
so
you.
good at it, and I think too, the more perspectives you can get, like the better.
It's so much fun.
And you are. I know you said this early on, but like you are life coach vibes, and
Oh, thank you.
that is everyone that gets to listen to your platform is just really lucky to have you as an outlet and as a
thanks.
resource and as a friend. Have to reiterate how good you did at your event. Was so proud.
Thank you.
It was so fun. Everyone make sure they go to the next one because my ass will be there.
You want to see this ass?
What you want to see this ass? With
Get to
some
the
expired diplomas.
We'll bring that. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry. I'll
Thank
just
you.
save them for another year.
Those other 2 we're going to have next year.
Oh,
can't
God.
wait.
God, can't wait.
You guys, please go find Lala. Wait, I'm like, sorry. What's your username on YouTube again?
On YouTube, you should just be able to look up Lala Montero.
Okay, Lala Montero. Is that on everywhere?
Yeah, Instagram,
Yeah.
it's Lala Montero too, but it's LALAAA.
Yep, 'cause
Montero.
it's all taken out.
There's
taken
Lala
out.
Monteros out there.
Apparently.
There's like a bunch of them, I guess.
I'm like, that's unique New York, though. So how does that work?
Unique. I can't even do it.
Unique New York.
Oh my God.
I can say a
Unique
lot,
New
too.
York. What was the other one? Unique New York. Oh my God. I
you
used
not
to have to
say
do
it?
this in choir. Unique. Okay, I'm done. It's the Paloma.
I'm dead. And if you want more of that, she vlogs.
Oh, stop.
She's going to teach me how to vlog. I told her she has to.
No, Sid does need
No,
a
I
vlog.
literally need a vlog.
You
I
need a
actually
vlog.
want to vlog because I just like think it's too awkward, like doing like, I don't know, little reels where I'm like being funny in a video. Oh, sorry. I just cringed. Oh my God.
By
Sorry.
the way, some people can, some people are
No,
natural at
I'm
it. You are
cringing
good
at
at
myself
it.
doing
You are
it.
good at it too, but you are just such a tough critic
I'm
on
a
yourself.
critic. Jordan says that too. He's like, Jordan says it. He's over there. I'm pointing that way now.
She's like,
he's over there.
"Ugh."
He's east. No, I'm just kidding. But
That's north, dude.
I don't give a fuck. I love you guys dearly. It's so much fun recording. This is so much fun. This was amazing. This is probably one of my longest episodes.
I mean,
who cares?
Yeah, shut us up.
Fucking love it.
Shut
I love
us
it.
up.
Shut that girl up right now. You can follow Lala, of course, all over social media, everywhere. Oh my God, my camera just went out. So that means we really got to go.
Oh my God,
but I love you. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here another week. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Bye-bye.